Daily Wire Plus.
Iran has executed a German-Iranian citizen whose daughter had begged the Biden-Harris administration and the German government to try to save his life.
Jamshid Jimmy Sharmad was kidnapped in Dubai in 2020 and held by the despotic Iranian regime. The Global Liberty Alliance noted, quote, in January 2022, the United Nations Human Rights Council reported that Mr. Sharmad was one of several foreign and dual nationals who remained imprisoned under inhumane conditions, including limitations on contact with their families. In early September, Sharmad's daughter Gazelle posted on X, quote, neither President Biden nor his Vice President Harris have even talked to us or even mentioned my dad's name, let alone done something for him. Bernie Bennett reporting.
Russian forces have struck a residential building in Ukraine's second-largest city, Kharkiv, killing 2, including a 12-year-old boy, and injuring scores of others. An official says the boy was fatally injured when the building was hit by a Russian glide bomb early today. Townhall.com. New polls suggesting that most Americans are on edge ahead of Election Day.
7 in 10 Americans who responded to a poll by the Associated Press and the Nork Center for Public Affairs Research say they're feeling anxious or frustrated about the 2024 presidential campaign. Only 1/3 say they feel excited. Even though the 2020 election happened during a deadly pandemic, some voters say they're even more anxious now than they were 4 years ago. About 80% of Democrats say they're anxious about this election. A little more than 66% of Republicans say they're anxious about this election. Donna Warder, Washington.
An upstate New York semiconductor research facility will be getting $825 million in federal funds as one of 3 national technology centers. The Albany Nanotech Complex, selected by the feds for that funding. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Thursday. Welcome to that day that is Thursday. It is the day before the Friday.
The penultimate day of your week, if you will.
Yeah, a little chilly last night.
A little chilly last night, a little chilly this morning.
It is, it was a little chilly. I don't know if it felt like 30s chilly.
Ooh.
But it felt chilly.
Well, I got up to go to the restroom around midnight. It was like 2 or 3. By the time I got back to my bed, everything was freezing again. Like my bed sheet, my blanket, my pillow, everything was cold again. So I had to do that thing where you kind of move around and kind of warm it up.
Yeah. I like to move around. I don't have the bedside glass of water. I keep this thing like in the kitchen.
Yeah.
But occasionally I'll get in the middle of the night and I'll use the restroom or whatever, and then I'm like, no park. So I'll make my way in there, and then it's in that thing, so it's always that mug deal, so it's always perennially cold. So I'll take a pull off that thing, and then as I'm getting there, and I start going back to the bedroom, like, no, I'm freezing. You know how you get that? You get ice cream from. So then I'm just can't wait to dive right into the bed, and I just kind of get into the fetal position, warm up, and I pass out.
Yeah. Now I called my cat in. Like, I need something to cuddle, Stefan.
Happy Halloween, everybody.
Yes.
I say Thursday. I didn't even get to the Halloween. But the reason I don't necessarily like have a Halloween on the forefront of the cabeza
Yes.
is because it's actually my wife's birthday.
Yay!
Happy birthday to Kim.
Happy birthday, Kim.
Happy
Happy
21st
birthday, Polly.
birthday to my 25th birthday. I'm not that creepy.
I ain't Clooney creepy. Although 25 is the cutoff for Leo DiCaprio, so
I'm he's glad to
sorry,
hear
Kim.
standard.
It's time to move on.
But yes, happy birthday to my lovely wife Kim. She shares the birthday holiday with Halloween.
Yes, with All Hallows Eve.
Yeah. So imagine.
Now, when you guys were first dating, when so you started dating in August, or I'm sorry, that's when you got married. When did you around when did you start dating? What time of year?
Well, like our official it was probably early summer. Maybe like our first date was probably like May, June, because like June 15th is kind of that's our when we met date, or we went our first date. I don't know. It's right there in June.
But so you were getting to know her over the summer.
Mm-hmm.
At what point did you learn that her birthday is Halloween?
Now that I wish I remembered. I don't.
Because I'm curious if that was a red flag at all.
No, to be honest,
she was born under a dark moon, you say?
No, it was not. Actually, I'm going to go out on a limb and say at the time she told me her birthday was Halloween.
When did you learn her birthday was Halloween? October 25th.
October 30th.
She was dropping hints for months, but she finally came out and said it on the 25th.
Right.
Mike, my birthday is in a week. What are you going to do? I've been working on my Kim impression.
It hasn't evolved much over the year. It's got a little bit, but if I remember right, I think when she told me her birthday was Halloween, I was also when I learned the factoid that her sister's birthday is St. Patrick's Day.
Okay.
So it was like on this, we're all all have our birthdays on holidays, kind of thing. So, but I don't know how. I don't know if it could have been the first day. I doubt it. We were golfing, putt golfing we didn't go kart. We did putt.
So on her birthday, you drink because you want to. On her sister's birthday, you drink because you're supposed
to. Right. But so yeah, I don't know. I just all I know is I really haven't celebrated Halloween since I've been married for 24 years now, 23 years now. So yeah, so
that's a pretty creative way to get out of ever having to come up with a costume idea.
I've worn costumes like 3 times since over our course of. I had a zombie costume I wore once or twice.
You ever just broke out your your old uniform? Go as a soldier.
Be honest, it probably.
I'd say now that you're down to your Olympic weight,
I'd probably fit. Yeah, it probably fit now.
Might be loose on you now, honestly.
Maybe.
Have y'all ever done a couple's costume?
No. See, Kim's not big into costumes either. He's not. He's like if we even do it, I'm probably the one who inspired it because she's not that way. She doesn't like getting in costume.
Fair.
Being a spotlight like that, if you will.
I was never a huge fan of it just because we didn't really celebrate when I was a kid.
Yeah.
We went to the harvest festivals and all the church whatevers, but
right.
Yeah, it was not a celebrated thing in my house. So it always comes up at September. I'm like, oh yeah, I should probably start thinking about that, huh?
If you want to count zombie and grapes as a couple's costume, and that's the one time both of us were in costume. Cute. She was grapes. Which is quite clever.
Actually, it could be a couple's costume. She was fruit. You were a zombie, so fruit of the.
There we go. Sell that to AMC.
Yep.
But
he's a zombie. She's some grapes. Let's see how this goes.
Now they are the face of underwear. But happy Halloween.
Indeed.
To all that don't celebrate my wife's birthday.
Yeah.
So, but I think we'll do the dinner thing and all that. And to be honest, I live in a neighborhood where trick-or-treaters just don't come to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say the average collective age of my neighborhood's probably 60s.
Yeah, and that's the median.
Yeah, it was the 60s.
Mike and Kim are the snippy youngsters of the block.
Yeah, they were the problem. No, or them loud kids. But
got your docu-series on too loud.
So unless they're housing their grandkids, but and I live like not on the outside of our neighborhood. I live in it, so people don't generally venture into that part. So
do you? Because no, there's a wall. There's a sidewalk and a wall between the street and you guys, right? So there's no like direct access to the road from your house.
No, you have to get on a private road to get down to my driveway and where I live. Yeah.
And when he says private, it is. If you're not looking for the turn in to Mike's neighborhood, you will miss it. And I have missed it while looking for it.
Yes. But if you know the sign. There is a sign. It says private road.
It is a sign. It just looks like a long driveway.
Yeah. It kind of does. But pro tip, if you see the big street light on Cheryl Lane, it's by the street light.
Well, don't just give it. His social security number is 687. Don't just give it away.
Well, it's not like
I was
the back
keeping
cave
it
where
vague.
we keep bushes over it or anything.
It kind of is. It really kind of is. Well, how many times have you had to walk a delivery driver through how to get there?
Oh, every time we need a delivery driver to deliver something, pretty much. In all fairness, if they just read the detailed instructions we put with when we asked the driver to deliver, say something, they probably would be all right if they just...
That's like your tour writer?
Yeah.
If the M&Ms aren't green, we know you weren't paying attention.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. Wow. But if they read it, and they're like, private road, all of this, hit the light, da-da-da, boom, you're there. Bada bing, bada boom.
I like it.
Give me my sandwich. I'll see you tomorrow.
Remind the fact that Mike could throw a rock and hit the sandwich place he ordered from. That's not the point.
Right. It's in my bathroom. Like Devontae Adams, I too have a restaurant in my house.
He calls it Toilet Mike's.
Yeah, that's right. You should see the chain it beat out before that was there. Anyway. Let me give you the rundown for the show, although I have to alter a bit. But anyway, we're going to replay an interview this hour. We had Tom with Game Day Roswell join us on, I believe it was Monday. Was it Monday or Tuesday?
It's one of those days. It's been a long week.
But he joined us just talking a little bit about Game Day Roswell. I mean, come on by. Of course, got getting ready for a big football weekend here. Of course, we had Thursday night football here, but college on Saturday, the pros on Sunday.
Well, and
Monday and all.
He also, I believe,
Friday night, high school football.
Friday night
and all
football,
that. So tonight on out there as well too. Tomorrow night, Thursday. So Thursday night football. I think he'd think it was Friday for a minute there. So Thursday night football tonight, high school football Friday night, and then college Saturday and pros on Sunday. So, but anyway, we had a great interview with Tom. We're going to play that for you this hour. Next hour we had Geneva Martinez join us with from Many Hands to talk about actually a big thing about a meeting that's happening tomorrow, 4 p.m. at Grace Community Church, talking about flood resources and inviting everybody, all hands on deck to plot, plan, and get information, give information, and plan the next steps on what we got to do here. So, and then unfortunately, my guest cannot make it in the 9 o'clock hour this morning. We were going to talk some food, but life in the restaurant business. Chef Anthony Noble has to work this morning because he had some folks not be able to come in this morning.
Gotcha.
So cannot join us on the radio because he's got to, do his day job.
Yeah.
So, so we'll get Chef in on a later time, and I will plot and plan and percolate, and we'll come up with an interview for the 9 o'clock hour.
There you go.
This morning. So, and then of course we'll have all of your features that include newses of local, national variety, Wall Street business updates, and blah 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 blah. And we'll have all that for you.
We will too.
More blot than blot to blah, but a fair amount of blah.
Enough blah.
That's right.
We try to give you just enough blah.
That's right.
20% more blah than the other guys.
Yeah, because you don't want too much to blah with your blah because it just messes up the balance. All right, 7:17. Here's your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Low 70s for the high today. Should be pretty nice. We have high pressure parked over the Four Corners, and that'll be covering our area for a while. Overnight looks clear, low to mid 40s, and then we warm up a little bit on Friday with mid to upper 70s, and will be sunny. Low pressure moving in from the southwest on Saturday, and that could give us a few showers. Sunny and low 70s on Sunday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 40 degrees and fair here in Roswell. Humidity is at 55%. Winds currently out of the southwest at 6 miles per hour. As Steve mentioned, expect highs near 70 today. Winds will be out of the south, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Skies will be clear tonight with an overnight low of 41 degrees. Southeast winds at around 5 miles per hour. Friday, sunny and 74 for a high. Winds will be out of the southeast, 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then Friday night, they just keep adding to those rain chances on Friday. We're looking at an 80% chance of showers and thunderstorms Friday night before and after midnight. Overnight low of 58 degrees with south winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. For Saturday, we're looking at a 60% chance at showers and thunderstorms before noon and afternoon as well. I don't know why they do that, but they do like before noon and then some chances afternoon as well. But yeah, so we're looking at a 60% chance at showers and thunderstorms for Saturday. Partly cloudy, 76 for a high with south winds 5 to 10. Saturday night, mostly clear, overnight low of 48 degrees. Sunny on Sunday with a high of 73. Sunday night, we are looking at a 30% chance at showers, mostly cloudy, and an overnight low of 46. And then when you head back to it on Monday, mostly sunny, 64 for a high. You know what? I'm seeing 60s all week through Wednesday. I only see up through Wednesday next week, but 64 Monday, 65 Tuesday, 67 Wednesday. It might be it, folks. We might be officially leaving summer-like temperatures and getting into full-on fall. Kind of nice. I'm kind of looking forward to it. Oh, and by the way, the clocks will spring forward this weekend, too, so you got that extra hour into, so that's going to make it official. That's to be official. Now, it'll be official sweater season on Monday. That's what I'm feeling. With the clocks back, now we're in the 60s, caramel popcorn, all that. All right, it is 20 minutes after 7 o'clock. Let's do this. It is. Let's take a quick commercial break. We'll also have your Ballard and Lagrone remembrance for today. And then on the other side, we'll play our interview we had with Tom from Game Day Roswell, inviting everyone out to come out for some food, fun, and frivolity, and some good sports, too, hopefully. Of course, he can't control that. Just depends on the players, but he'll have the access to it. So anyway, quick break. We'll be back.
Ballard Funeral Home and Crematory and Lagrone Funeral Chapel have been celebrating life for over 90 years. Ballard Funeral Home and Crematory celebrates and remembers Consuelo Aguilar passed away October 18th. Viewing is 1 to 4 p.m. Thursday, October 31st at Ballard Funeral Home with graveside service 2 p.m. Friday, November 1st at South Park Cemetery. Katie Harton passed away on October 16th. Rosary will be at 11:30 a.m. Saturday, November 2nd at Assumption Catholic Church, with Mass to follow, Rosary at 12 p.m. Lagrone Funeral Chapel celebrates and remembers Leonard Black, who passed away on October 26th. Services are pending at this time. This has been today's remembrance, brought to you by Ballard Funeral Home and Crematory and Lagrone Funeral Chapel.
Attention, Roswell and surrounding areas. Roswell Ford knows recovering from an unexpected natural disaster is stressful, and our hearts go out to everyone who experienced loss due to the flooding. The damage left behind is devastating, but we're already seeing what it means to be Roswell strong, and we acknowledge and appreciate the heroic efforts of local authorities, first responders, and National Guard rescue teams. We've already received and continue to receive special shipments of new Fords and quality pre-owned vehicles available for immediate delivery during our massive Super tent sale. It's at our temporary location on West 2nd Street between Toyota and Allsup's. These new and pre-owned vehicles without flood damage are being offered to the public at unprecedented savings. We've instructed our staff to take any car in any condition. In fact, even if it doesn't run, we'll come get it and give you a generous allowance toward a new Ford or high-quality pre-owned vehicle. And we'll work with your insurance company to help you get what you deserve at Roswell Ford's temporary location on West 2nd Street between Toyota and Allsup's. Thank you.
Artesia General Hospital has welcomed cardiologist Luther Weathers to the team. Dr. Weathers is board certified with a subspecialty in cardiovascular diseases. He treats patients with genetic heart defects, heart rhythm disorders, heart failure, coronary artery disease, chronic high blood pressure, and other cardiovascular diseases. Call 575-736-8270 to schedule your visit with Dr. Weathers in Artesia or visit artesiageneral.com/cardio appointment. Se habla español.
How do you find a roofing contractor you can trust? You can randomly pick one, cross your fingers and hope for the best, or maybe you can ask a psychic to predict who's trustworthy. Here's a better idea. Choose one who prefers using America's most trusted roofing brand, Owens Corning. And rest easy, because Owens Corning screens their contractors for reliability, professionalism, and customer service. Why take any chances? Owens Corning, trusted contractors, proven products. For an Owens Corning preferred contractor, visit owenscorning.com/roofing.
For a free estimate, give Do Right Roofing a call today. 575-623-2273.
Find them fast in names and numbers.
It's possible to turn peanut butter into diamonds. Peter Pan tried it with his buddy Skippy, but they couldn't do it in a jiff. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 19 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from Game Day Roswell, Tom, I think I always say Kimmerl, right?
Kimberly.
There we go. I just call him Tom. That way I less chance of botching it. Morning, Tom. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Mike. How are you?
Doing good. Of course, Tom is, Game Day Roswell, Uncle Sud's Laundry right there.
Right next to each
That's
other.
all part of Tom's business here. So if you could kind of kill two birds if you want and get some laundry done, go have kick back and have a beverage and watch a game or play a game, watch a game or play a game.
There you go. Yep. We got both going on.
Yeah. So Howard, first off, before we talk stuff, how did flooding and all that, how's the business there? Everything?
We
kosher
dodged the bullet. Even though Sunset was a lake, it got clear up to the doors.
Okay.
And it stopped.
Well.
And
that's a good place to stop.
Yeah. So I stayed dry, but
okay, good.
Boy, howdy, that going up north on Sunset and then to the west, it was just a wreck.
I imagine the laundry side's probably been doing double time now with a lot of people washing.
We've been extremely busy. Yeah. I mean, that's some nasty stuff trying to get clean.
Which, by the way, especially if you got bedding, things that large, he's got the machines that can handle that kind of stuff. You especially if you got like these king size comforters. Some of those washers and dryers you have at the house, they're not.
No, they're not. They
can't
made
handle
for that.
them big boys. So bring them on down to Uncle Sud's, and that way you won't ruin your washer or dryer.
There you go.
To get that
We'll help you out. We always have full-time staff to help you out too.
Absolutely, and plus if you got large quantities, towels and stuff, those are huge capacity. So
sure,
you're not going to spend all day doing laundry. Maybe.
Exactly. Yeah, we can get you in and out in an hour and a half.
Absolutely, and then of course, while you wait, come on over and maybe have a snack and kick back and play a video game or watch a game on the tube or something.
Absolutely,
yeah. So talk a bit about Game Day Roswell side. I know that's kind of been, it's almost been evolving a little bit over the last couple of years as you get more and more different things coming in, and so it's just kind of turned into just a little hangout, really, just a place to hang out and kick back with friends or. Going to kick back and just unwind a little bit. It's just
it's growing every week. It's a private club, very affordable. It's $25 a year for adults.
Yeah,
children, they come in free under your umbrella.
Nice.
But we've been just growing every week, and it's just a pretty cool place to hang out.
Yeah.
We are in the process of putting in a card system, so the door will stay locked. You have to have a card to get in.
Kind of like a gym membership card
exactly.
kind of thing. Yeah, okay, cool.
So it keeps us safe. So when 8, 9 o'clock at night, if the door opens, we know it's a member.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. That's and of course that also helps, with safety and other sides and things, and keep an eye on people and things like that too.
Yeah.
Just making sure. And which, again, it's kind of that, membership has its privileges kind of thing.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And then, of course, as part of your membership there too, it really, like if you love arcade games, things like that, it's a full arcade. If you love your sports games, things like that, it's a sports bar. So
yeah.
It's kind of, like I said, it's got a little bit of everything for everybody.
Yeah, we do. We do.
So whatever, so if you're in the mood for whatever, come out, Saturdays, college, you can spend the day watching college games, kick back, maybe have a pool tournament or a air hockey tournament or something while that's going on. Come back for Sunday for NFL, or of course, if you want to get away for Thursday night or Monday night games or World Series going on, you want to
absolutely, yeah.
I don't know how much more is going to be left of it here, the way this one's going, but
it's not pretty if you're a Yankees fan.
Yeah. Of course, they're coming back home now, so there'll be some rally hopes there.
Yeah, there could be.
But I don't know. You might want to get there early. This might end earlier. This might not go 7.
I'm thinking no, but you never know.
But it is sports. I mean,
that's true.
Pull back the curtain. Washington fan. Tom is a Bears fan, and you all saw that game on Sunday. That was a wild one.
It was brutal. It was brutal, but
any given game, man, it
any
happens.
Given Sunday. Yep.
Yeah. And all I could say is, as far as that game goes, both teams are just fine. You know what I mean? Both teams are heading in the right direction. What I really think is going on in Washington is something special right now. I think this is all the planets aligned, and you're seeing one of these Disney movie moments where it's all just. You know what I mean? Like, it's just happening. You know what
not
I mean?
only are they playing good, I was really impressed with those uniforms.
Yeah, the black ones are sharp.
They
like
look
those.
sharp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I my only knock on them is they don't incorporate much burgundy.
Right.
And that's a staple color of Washington.
Yeah. Now I heard they're going to bring back the Redskin name. Is that true?
Never. Unfortunately, everybody but the NFL wants that to happen. And there's no way the NFL is going to let that name come back. It's pretty much said, the ownership group, they're pretty much saying, more than now that the team's getting good, I don't even think they're going to change the name from Commanders. There was a stank on it from Snyder.
Right.
And this is slowly eroding that stank real quick.
Right. Yeah,
Which will do
true.
it. Winning will do that.
Winning will do that.
So I don't think so. I don't. Would I like that? Yes, I would absolutely love that.
Yeah.
Because to me, it means so much more than that.
Well,
that
it's history.
It's a place of honor. All of that imaging and logo and all of the stuff that was actually fostered by Native Americans. That's that logo, the Indian head, that was designed by a Native American chief.
Right.
And there's a whole it is a whole history behind that.
And they had no issue with it.
And to be honest, it was. And this is something that I always point out, but sure, you can look at that name as a derogatory term, but let me ask you this. If you went into a crowded mall or just a big public and just started yelling Redskins at the top of your lungs, they're going to be thinking about the football team. Yeah. They're not going to be thinking, you know what I mean? Why is that guy yelling about the football team in the middle of the thing? I don't think it carries the weight it did in the 1800s.
I agree 100%.
You know what I mean? It's no different than the Canucks in Vancouver.
Right.
Spoiler alert, Canuck is a derogatory term for a Canadian.
Yes, that is true. That is true.
And if we want to play this game, so is Yankee.
Yes, sir.
That's a derogatory term for an American.
Yep. Especially in the Northeast.
So we could play this game all, this all day. But anyway, sorry, we got to get back to you. I went down a rabbit hole. It happens here. So but this is something I know because you're a tinkerer. Because you tinker games and stuff. So you're always constantly tinkering and evolving. So what's your latest project? I know you've got a couple going on. Right?
Well, we've got a couple things going on. Number one, we are having a big Halloween party on November 1st.
Okay, on Friday.
Yeah,
Friday after.
It's going to be costumes, the whole 9 yards.
Sure.
Everybody's encouraged to bring finger food of some sort.
Okay.
I got like a potluck party.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And we're all just going to hang out and have a good time.
Sure. So if you want to be a member, you can get in, pay your $25, and come have a party with us on Saturday.
We're even letting just the public.
Okay, so the public wants to come too. Maybe this is a good chance for you to see what Game Day Roswell has and what you get with your membership.
Yeah,
here.
They can check out
kind of
the
an open house kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
yeah.
like it. So open house, come in costume, come, and like I said, maybe bring some finger foods or light snacks kind of thing.
Yeah,
stuff like that. And come check it out and come. Now I'm going to say this: if you're a gamer, I would not come in a costume that encumbers your movement because there is things that you might get a little active with.
Yeah.
And like if you're in a box or something, it might be hard.
You're not going to be shooting pool in a box. No.
But you're perfectly lined up to watch the games. It'll be on that Friday night there. Might be, would that be a World Series night? I'm trying to do it in my head. I don't know if it is or not.
I don't know. I don't think that far ahead.
I don't either. I'm like, what's on tonight? I have no idea.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway, come see. And of course, like, you do have your snack offerings and stuff for members too. So come in there and you do, nachos and, all kinds of stuff in there. I think taquitos and things.
Yeah.
Like that. It's just kind of changes with the menu.
We go back and forth. We usually pick out one item for the day and make it. And we go from there.
All stuff that works well in bars,
exactly.
That kind of things that go well with beverages and games and sports and stuff.
Yep. Absolutely. Anything goes good with a beer.
Yeah. And I would even offer this. If you're, say, around our age and you want to expose, we'll say grandkids probably at this point, games of your era, you want to see what really Donkey Kong looked like. You want to see how that's the cool part is you got those vintage.
Let me tell you, those kids, they really have a lot of fun with those big games. They're used to gaming on their phones.
Sure. Yeah, tiny little screens.
So they go in there and see these monster games, and it takes a lot of eye-hand coordination.
Sure.
And they have a blast, and it's still in the 1980s.
Sure.
25 cents a game.
And it probably makes sense too, where some of those games they're playing on their phone, especially younger kids, are probably comparable, like graphics and skill level wise.
Yeah.
The types of games like that. You're not playing big questing games on there. You're playing stuff like Pac-Man on there.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it probably syncs up very well. We're like, oh yeah, this is kind of Wait till they see when they made the shrink down. Remember those arcade games? It was basically Miss Pac-Man or Donkey Kong, but it was like a handheld version, but it was shaped like the arcade game.
Right.
Remember those?
Yes.
And it was like this tiny. They flip out. They saw one of those.
Oh, no kidding. Yeah.
But and you got and you do have a little bit more modern video games in there too. So it kind of covers multi-generational there, and then, of course even a few pinball and more mechanic games than electric.
Air hockey is a biggie.
Air hockey's because that everyone thinks they have a little skill, and then they realize they either do or don't. That's when you find out because. Everyone thinks they're the best in their circle, and then you go to the other circle, and they realize, oh, man, I suck at this compared to this. And everyone has a strategy. Whether it's, stick back too close to the goal or be aggressive, it's there's a lot of strategy in air hockey, believe it or not.
And then the punching bag, that's a funny one.
Oh, I imagine.
They watch, those guys, they go at it, I'm stronger than you, I'm bigger, better, and and they just beat the snot out of that thing. $1 a pop, and they'll sit there for Lord knows how long doing it.
Wow. Do you have to fix that one a lot, or is it pretty durable?
No, it is actually durable.
Okay.
It really is.
After taking punches, after a while, it's going to get a little squirrely.
So far, so good.
Good deal. So I'm guessing there's probably a technique to that.
Matter of fact, there was one guy that he was some kind of a bare knuckle champion.
Okay.
And he came in, and everybody, just tries to throw a straight
right.
Sure,
it's straight power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he turned to the side of it and actually threw a right hook. And he curled that machine up. I mean, his whole body twisted.
Yeah.
And he generated a ton of power.
I think a lot of it's technique, and a lot of it's, you got to know where to hit it.
True. And I've seen people flat out miss it. It's pretty funny.
Well, and the more macho they go in with it, the more ridiculous it's going to be. It's just
It's good for a laugh.
You're just setting the table for disaster right there.
Exactly.
Yeah, but, it's the quiet one you got to worry about.
That's exactly right. Those are the ones you got to watch.
It's like, this guy going to knock it out of the park.
Yeah.
But, yeah, come have fun. That's what it's like. Bring your friends and you come, and that's what it's about. It's a hangout.
Yeah.
It's exactly what it is.
Yeah, and we're busy with our league plays. We've got, on Monday, we've got Dart League.
Okay. I didn't even get to darts yet. Yeah.
Yeah, we got out of there last night about 11 o'clock. Had a good turnout, man. We were busy. And, those guys, they know how to throw darts.
Yeah.
I tell you what, they're impressive. We got one guy on the league that's actually nationally rated.
Oh, wow.
And then an old friend of mine, back in the day, he was a 6-time state champion.
Oh, wow.
And won the New Mexico Open. And, so we got some talent in this town.
Yeah. I wonder if he just throws darts or does he throw anything? If they kick butt and axe throwing too? Or
No.
any
It's strictly darts. I mean, those guys, it's a passion. It's an addiction.
I just didn't know if they're just naturally gifted at aiming and stuff. You know what I mean?
It's pretty much muscle memory with
darts.
darts.
I imagine it would be, too.
But those guys can just sit there. If they need, 3 bullseyes to win out or whatever, they'll shoot 3 bulls. And just boom, boom, boom. And I tried it for the first time. I've never been a dart player.
Yeah.
I didn't even hit the board.
Yeah.
Seriously, I did not hit the board.
I imagine it's a lot like rifle shooting, where it's all in, you hold the breath. I imagine it's all the same. Like you said, that muscle memory. I imagine it's, there's some kind of.
It's a very trained eye, yeah.
So that they throw it the exact same way, the exact same time, the exact same amount of force or touch or whatever they got to do.
Yeah, and some of them, they do the same warm up between each shot, and it's pretty cool to watch them.
Imagine it's like golf or any, where you just want that consistent swing, consistent, same kind of deal. Quarterbacks, throw it.
Absolutely,
same kind of deal. Yeah, imagine. We just don't think of it in that term of a dart, but it's interesting.
Yeah,
and I imagine too, it's different with every dart because the weighting and how it's, there's a whole science to that too.
Well, there's a whole plethora of darts, and you find what works for you, and you just go with it.
Sure.
And then, of course, we got our billiard league. We got the big league on Tuesday night, and then we've got Scotch doubles on Wednesday.
Okay, and those are pretty popular, right? Billiards. There's a pretty big community of pool players.
Matter of fact, Roswell's got a world champion.
Yeah, that's true.
So
does he pop in time to time?
On occasion? Yeah. Matter of fact, I used to play pool with him back in the 70s.
Okay,
that's how far back we go.
Okay, cool.
And he's a heck of a.
Does he come and give the blessing of the pool table?
He comes in and he's a very humble guy. He helps people.
If he gives you tips, take it.
He's very, very generous with his time when it comes to that, and he gives lessons. People try to pay him, and he won't take the money.
Sure.
He loves the sport.
Excellent. Did he make a career, a living out of that? I mean, not career, but did he make enough money as a world champion to live off that?
Well, professionally, that's not where the money was.
I know sponsorship.
The money was usually, in a bar.
Okay. I didn't know if they get sponsor deals for
they can, but I don't think he took it that far. He just went, he in his flight or whatever it was, his final match, he beat some guy out of Germany.
Okay. I just figure when you get to that levels, people are just trying to throw money at you.
But it's pretty cool to watch. It's amazing how much everybody thinks you got to be a super good shot in pool, but the number one thing you need to know is defense.
That's true. Setting up, you're setting up so you're the guy. You're not letting the other guy get a good shot.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, I knew, and that's I've watched. I'm not no billiards player by any stretch. I'm a whacker, but I've watched enough tournaments on TV to where they talk about exactly. It's like, see, look where he left the cue ball. He left it in a perfect spot to set him up for that next shot or take away his chance for his opponent. It's either about you creating your next shot, or if you don't have a next shot, which you kind of have to plan ahead, then you need to put in a place where your opponent doesn't have a shot.
It's a game of chess. Yeah. It really is.
Yeah, and so that's the difference between people that know how to play billiards versus people that just go to a bar and put a couple quarters on the sides and play for beer.
No, it's a lot of fun, and we do
dart tournaments and billiard tournaments.
Excellent.
And so we stay pretty busy with that. We've got Friday night, we do karaoke, and that's growing every week.
Excellent.
I'm there. I'm the bartender. And so I get to listen to all this talent.
I was about to say, is there talent or do you need earmuffs? Because it could go either way with karaoke night.
We got the good, the bad, and the ugly, man.
It's true. It is a melting pot of singers usually at a karaoke night.
yeah. So I just, I try to just stay distracted.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's the thing. Maybe you have an earmuff thing under the bar, and it'd be like, earmuffs are available upon request.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Hey, that might be marketable. That might be marketable.
Good. You never know.
No, but we have a good time. We've got just some good groups. We got a Friday afternoon club that comes in. It's a bunch of folks here in town that they've been friends for 50 years.
Kind of like their local meetup every week.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's cool.
They'll take up 3 or 4 tabletops.
Nice.
We'll put them all together, and of course, I'm not a great bartender yet. I'm learning. I'm a great beer slinger.
There you go.
But whiskey on the rocks I can do.
Sure. But if you start getting these long, convoluted names of drinks, you're like, all right, I gotta.
I can do a Chilton and I can do a White Russian, and that's about it.
All right.
That's about it. But when they all come in at once, I got 18 of them.
Sure.
And I'm going, uh-oh. And Pat's in the kitchen. We always cook on Friday, and so she's cooking up whatever she decides for that day.
Right.
And Greg Segovia Sr., we had his birthday party last week. He just turned 90.
Oh, wow.
Full head of hair, not an ache or pain at all. He takes nothing. Nope.
Got
no
good
pills,
genes, huh?
Nothing. And I said, "What's your secret?" And he said, "Tequila."
He's preserved.
I guess he's pickled all the way through and through.
That's pretty good.
But yeah, good folks.
That's awesome. And that's really the vibe at Game. It's just locals hanging out. It's just a place just to, probably, hang out with your friends, get the scuttlebutt on what's going on, kind of thing. Yeah, it really is just to hang out. Is really
it really is. It's clean. It's quiet.
Yeah.
It's safe.
Think of Cheers with pool tables and dart tables and video games and more TVs.
There you go. Yeah, you're right. It's the same atmosphere as Cheers, but you're right. We got billiards and TVs and stuff. So,
and of course, like you said, bring your group down or ask more about membership. Check it out this Friday. Come on to the Halloween party. Come in costume if you want, or you don't have to. I mean, no law.
Yeah, but we encourage it.
It'd be nice to
we
do
encourage
that. Get
it.
the spirit of things.
Yeah.
But come and come and play game or drinks. It's going to be potluck that night, so if you'd like to bring finger foods or snack items, no hearty hams or nothing,
just something light,
but little taquitos or whatever, poppers or whatever.
Yeah, finger food of some sort.
Like that.
Yeah, but
that would be great. What time is that on Friday? By the way?
That's going to start at 7:00.
7 p.m. So excellent, very good.
Yeah, I think 7 to 10, something
and
like that.
I'm going to take a guess. And probably one of them TVs will have the Coyote Goddard game on. So
we typically do. Yeah,
so you won't miss the football game.
No, we've had every TV game. Matter of fact, you and I kind of picked on you saying that the Bears were going to win, and then and I kept telling everybody in the club because I was watching it there, and I kept telling everybody because the game was not going well for the Bears almost the whole game.
Well, it was, there was a lot, and it was back and forth. There was, Washington, we're moving the ball, but they couldn't put it in the end zone.
Right. I mean, it was a game of field goals, and then I think we did a pick six or an interception, something.
Yeah.
Anyway, we got on the board, and then, I thought, man, we just might win ugly. And, I'm telling everybody in the club, I go, I'm going to be on the radio with Mike on Tuesday, and, one of us is going to be happy, and the other one's not.
Yeah.
And you should have heard that place erupt on that last play.
It was nuts.
I don't get this, Mike. It's not a secret where they're going to throw that ball.
Right.
It's a Hail Mary.
Yeah.
Blanket the play, and they left that guy unattended.
And I actually watched the analysts break Zapruder film, break this thing down and watch it. And yes, there is a lot of luck there.
Yeah.
But Washington set the table to create the luck. in the plays leading up to it, and they actually they were like Noah was posted there by design. There was another guy Terry McLaurin was in the front, and then they had a couple pokers in the middle, Zach Ertz, and then all the Bears. So it just worked. Yeah. They actually it's either going to go forward or go backward. We got a guy at either end to catch it either way. So they were kind of planning it a little bit.
Kudos to your quarterback, because he stalled around back there for a long time.
Yeah, he had to buy that time back
and
there.
And he did.
Yeah.
And then he just let it go. And
then people are complaining on holding calls. I was like, well, they were double teaming everybody, and I've never seen a holding call on a Hail Mary play ever.
No.
Unless they're all looking down the other end. They're not paying attention.
No, what an ending. And like I said, you guys deserve the win anyway. You guys really were the better team.
It was, and thank you. It was, well, don't thank me. I didn't do anything. I'm just watching the TV.
But it was a fun game. Especially toward the end, it was just nip and tuck.
Yeah.
So that made a good game out of it.
Well, and I got a feeling this could be the next Brady Manning, 10 years
those
of
two
that.
quarterbacks, there's going to be a lot of life in those two.
I got a feeling this could be, the 90 or the modern version of Brady Manning. And,
it sure could.
It could be that. So,
for sure, yeah.
So I like what it's setting the table here, too. And, of course, but definitely I'm going to say C.J. Spiller, Caleb, and Jaden are the really – this next generation, this new quarterback that can run, that can pass, that can do it all.
Right.
And I think we're going to see, like Mahomes, I think is kind of that first generation. These are the next evolution of that. You know what I mean? So, anyway, it's going to be exciting to watch.
Speaking of Mahomes, Chicago passed on him.
I'm sure they're kicking themselves.
I'm thinking, really? Sometimes I wonder about Chicago's recruiting, but they've always been suspect in my mind anyway.
Well, and it's hard to. Bears tradition football really just goes against the grain of modern football.
Oh, it is. It's smash mouth football.
Yeah, it's gridiron. It's muddy. It's ugly. It's in your face. It's guys with no teeth. It's you know what I mean. That's Bears football.
Yeah,
and this ain't that league no more. But at the same time, the Bears are struggling because they got to adapt. But at the same time, they don't want to lose who they are. They don't want to lose the fact that when you come to Soldier Field, you're going to get a punch in the face.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's their mindset.
That's part of them.
Yeah.
You bet.
And it's no different. It's why Dallas is what Dallas is, because that's their image, and they're not going to change.
Yeah.
They're going to be Six Flags and an NFL football team. That's just how they're built.
Yep. That's true.
Lots of rides, but then they're going to be tired and ready to go home.
There you go. Yep.
Anyway, I got off track again.
But
for folks to be membership, just go on by pretty much, right?
Yeah, just come on by.
Yeah, you don't have to get online or do a whole thing.
We don't do the online thing. Yeah, Number one, I want everybody to check out the club.
Sure.
When you come in the first time, you're my guest. I want you to have a good time.
Yeah.
Just check it out and
sit down, have a drink.
The vibe. Yeah. And then some people come in, they just love it immediately. They go, man, we had no idea about this place. And I said, well, I've done radio and newspaper and Facebook and word of mouth.
Yeah.
But it's just growing. Believe it or not, we've got over 500 members already.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Awesome. You're going to have to get a bigger building.
Well, I got another 15,000 square feet, but
that's true. You got some more room to tap into.
It needs a roof, and so
I forgot there is more space. Just it needs some love.
Yeah, it needs a lot of love. I
imagine after storms and everything, there's probably a little more love than before too.
Yeah, true.
So,
true.
That's the world we live in right now. So
but
please come check it out. Like, be honest. It's been a rough week. If you just need a place to unwind for a minute and get out of your head for a little bit,
absolutely,
come on down and just kick back and maybe play a game or watch a game or just sit down and have a social conversation with some people ain't talking about.
Yeah, we all
life.
Got together and we cried about the flood and everybody was telling their own particular war story, and it was very frightful for a lot of people.
Sure.
Pat's daughter. She's right down the street at Hendricks and Sunset. She had 5 feet of water outside that house, 2.5 feet inside.
That's scary.
National Guard couldn't get to them. We couldn't get to them. Fire department couldn't get to them. They spent the night on top of a couch.
Oh, wow.
and it was 3 of them, and then they had some guests over with a little baby.
Oh,
yeah. And so it was a long, long night. I think I finally went to bed at 5 in the morning, and Pat was on the phone with them all night long, and it was pretty scary.
Yeah, I would imagine. Yeah,
and just so many people over there got tanked, man. It was just sad.
That's it. I mean, we know about kind of the stuff downtown. That kind of got a lot of the spotlight, but you go a lot of streets in a lot of neighborhoods downtown. I mean, you're seeing it now where you go out and, down the street and there's literally piles of debris, 10 feet high in front of each house.
It's amazing. And when I left, I finally kicked everybody out of the club about 6:30 that night. I mean, that rain, it was just...
So y'all need to get home. Y'all need to get to safety.
And I kept sticking my head out the front door, and all of a sudden, Sunset was a river, and it's coming up into my parking lot. And I said, you know what, guys? We got to go.
Yeah.
I said, something's not right here. And I grew up here.
Sure.
I've driven in every storm, no big deal.
You know
go
when it's
down
different.
Sunset, go up Union, and I get home. And I drove through hell to get home.
Yeah.
It took me, normally it's 20 minutes, took me an hour and 15 minutes.
And there was about 1,000 more stories just like that.
There were so many that were already stuck.
Yeah. I mean, those folks at the quinceañera, they were on the roof that night too, very similar to that family you're speaking of earlier.
Yeah. And
that was a lot of folks doing this stuff.
Had I known that it was that bad, I would have never driven in it. I would have just stayed there. I got a recliner in my office.
It's like I can hunker down.
Plenty of beer. I'm good.
Yeah.
I can
we're
stay
good to
there.
go.
Yeah, I got food and everything.
Yeah.
So, but no, I wanted to get home, and but I had no idea what I was driving into, and it was just a hot mess. When you get to Union in College, and I had water up to my window, and I drive an F-150.
Yeah. Well, you're seeing vehicles floating down the street at that point.
That's a lot of water. Yeah.
When you see the and that's powerful, that water, when it can have that energy to move a 1-ton vehicle. Yes.
Well, there was a 40-foot box car. In the middle of Hendricks.
Yeah.
I don't know if it came from Stiles Field or where it came from, but
I was hearing reports of like a lot of people that were parked at the convention center.
Mm-hmm.
They were finding their cars down by Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply.
Yes.
I was hearing that's where a lot of them ended up over that area.
Yeah,
it was just,
I know Dale over at Roswell Ford, and he had brand new cars that were down there.
Kind of down in that area too.
Yeah.
I guess that's where the river was kind of pushing them to there.
He said he's still looking for vehicles.
I mean,
what a mess!
We got hit.
Yeah.
But folks, if you need a little getaway from that, come on down to Game Day Roswell, right here on Sunset. What's the official address there?
911 South Sunset.
911 Sunset, right next door to Uncle Sud's Laundry there on Sunset. Come on down. And like I said, if you do need to get some laundry done, you got to get them comforters. You still got some, stuff that needs to be. He's got the machines. Don't try to do it in your home ones. Let his professional grade stuff handle it. That's what it's built for. So,
and if you don't have the time, we've got a drop-off service as well.
Yeah, so we can get that taken care of, and drop it off and come back later and get it because you got 7 other things to clean.
Yeah, for sure. Yep.
And then when you're ready to say, you know what, I've had a long day, I'm ready to kick back with a beer and a ball game or something. Come on down to Game Day Rob.
There you go.
Excellent. Tom, did we get it all?
I think we did.
Excellent. Well, thank you, sir. Thank goodness everything. You guys are doing well. We're glad to hear that, and kind of turned into a beacon of help for your people in your community, in your neighborhood there too. So
it's a good little hangout for that part of town.
That's right. Come to the place where everybody knows your name.
That's it. We're good people.
I'm stealing cheers now.
Yeah. There you go.
Thank you, Tom.
Hey, thank you, Mike. Appreciate it.
Anytime. It is 8:51. Let's pause for news.
With your Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Sorello. Roswell police are looking for a couple of missing persons. 77-year-old James Smith was reported missing by his nephew October 24th. The nephew reported he and other family members have not been able to contact Smith since October 13th. Smith lives at 1710 North Union Avenue in Roswell. He has not been there. Arizona tag has also not been found. And RPD is also searching for Samantha Broylette, who is 43. Broylette was allegedly battered by her boyfriend, Manuel Lemos, and left along the side of a road at an unknown location the night of October 26th. Broylette has not been seen since. Lemos has since been booked into jail and charged with battery. Flood recovery efforts are well underway at the Roswell Museum, which was devastated by the recent flooding. Assessment of the 51,000 square foot facility is ongoing, which includes the 12 galleries, the planetarium, classrooms, the auditorium, and the ceramics studio. The museum says the recovery will take years. Floodwaters reached 5 feet in parts of the museum. Volunteers arrived Monday morning to begin removing debris and mud from outside the building, allowing for safer entry. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
It's time for the Chaves County Sports Report. Well, we got some volleyball action going on tonight, and Roswell is still in cruise control mode with a 20-1 record, 4-0 in district, and they will be taking on Carlsbad at home. It starts at 6 o'clock. Roswell swept Hobbs on Tuesday. A little bit closer than that 3-0 count might indicate. It was 25-19, 26-24, 26-24. Meanwhile, Goddard at home against Lovington. Goddard defeated Portales 3-2 on Tuesday. Super close until Goddard blew him out in the fifth set, 15-7. Halen Haskins, 21 kills. Naomi Smith with 16 kills. Goddard against Lovington tonight at 6:30. Also tonight, Hagerman at home against Texaco. Texaco is 17-3. Gateway Christian 15-3, hosting 16-5 Elida. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
Late in the Apostle Paul's life, he wrote the following: "I've fought the good fight, I've finished the race, I've kept the faith. Now there is in store for me the crown of righteousness, which the Lord the righteous judge will award to me on that day, and not only to me, but to all who have longed for his appearing." That is the definition of dying well. Paul had not always been a follower of Christ, but once he changed his life from persecutor to that of a man who followed Jesus to being fully dedicated, he was all in. He knew that he was forgiven, and he knew that he had lived a life of service to his Lord. He wasn't perfect, but he knew that Jesus was, and that Christ's saving grace was more than enough. You too can have that same confidence to die well. You can never earn it, but Jesus wants you to have his free gift of forgiveness. He wants all of us to be with him in heaven.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
Find your path to a greater future with Eastern New Mexico University. If you're looking to take the next step in your higher education journey, both in person and online, Eastern New Mexico University is the place for you. ENMU is now accepting applications for spring 2025, so don't miss out on your opportunity to join more than 5,700 fellow Greyhounds on this exciting path to student success. For more information, visit enmu.edu. Eastern New Mexico University. Student success, that's what we're about.
Bill Cunningham is now in Roswell on 106.5 FM, KEND Roswell.
Townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Nicknamed Trump Force One, former President Trump already has his own jetliner. And now, as correspondent Ben Thomas tells us, Mr. Trump has something else.
How do you like my garbage truck?
The showman coming out in Donald Trump on a visit to Green Bay, Wisconsin.
It's in honor of Kamala and Joe Biden.
Climbing into a garbage truck with his name on the side to draw attention to a comment made by President Biden.
Joe Biden should be ashamed of himself if he knows what he's even doing. And she should be ashamed because she shouldn't let him do it.
Kamala Harris, trying to distance herself from Biden's description of Trump supporters as garbage, attacks Mr. Trump, claiming that he views his detractors as the enemy.
He wants to put them in jail.
Harris speaking in Madison, Wisconsin. North Korea's dictator has test-fired a missile believed to be capable of striking the continental U.S. And Japan's chief cabinet secretary says Tokyo is concerned.
The missile this time is thought to be an intercontinental ballistic level. We are investigating the details on whether it was a new type. North Korea's actions, including the repeated launches, are a threat to our country, our region, and to the international community's peace and security, and cannot be tolerated.
Yoshi Masahayashi heard there through a BBC translator. The government's latest inflation update is in. It shows that prices continue to rise, but at a somewhat slower pace. 2.1% increase last month from 1 year earlier. They have already been partying in Los Angeles after the Dodgers captured the World Series crown, beating the Yankees last night 7-6, Game 5 of the Fall Classic. Stocks sharply lower this morning on Wall Street. The Dow down 172 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
The death toll continues to rise in eastern Spain in the midst of catastrophic flooding.
We know that at least 95 individuals have been killed, among them at least 4 children, with dozens still missing. One resident described the storm coming in like a tsunami, with many witnesses reporting individuals being swept away by the current. Soldiers have now joined rescue efforts alongside emergency crews who started their operations really early on Wednesday, working late into the night, operating around the clock, trying to evacuate individuals in those hit areas.
The BBC's Mimi Swaby. Classes have been canceled, offices closed in Taiwan, flights and rail service suspended as a powerful typhoon made landfall on the island's east coast, bringing high winds and flooding rains. No deaths or major property damage reported thus far on Taiwan. Authorities report 27 injuries from the storm. News and analysis, townhall.com. As if navigating the streets of New York isn't already challenging enough, now jaywalking is legal in the city.
Legislation passed by the City Council has officially become law after Mayor Eric Adams declined to sign or veto it after 30 days. The new law permits pedestrians to cross a roadway at any point, including outside of a crosswalk and against traffic signals. Councilmember Mercedes Narcisse, who sponsored the legislation, says the law ends racial disparities in enforcement, as more than 90% of jaywalking tickets were issued to Black and Latino people last year. Adams' office says it continues to encourage pedestrians to cross in a crosswalk with a walk signal. John Scott reporting.
Snow has fallen on Hawaii's tallest peak, briefly turning the mountaintop into a winter wonderland. The summit area of Mauna Kea on the Big Island got about 2 inches of white powder this week. Not unusual for snow to fall at the higher elevations during the wetter winter months. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The demolition, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to our number of Mornings with Mike Winters. All right, here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Sorry, I got Halloween on the brain, I guess. I don't know.
It happens. Sometimes you get a little spider in the brain.
It happens. Oh! Sorry, that just triggered something in my head. It happens. Okay. So I continue
with the Monsters series on Netflix about the Menendez brothers. So, I watched an episode yesterday, and this is in the part, spoiler alert, if you don't know what happened in real life. Their first trial ends up in a hung jury, and
they killed their parents and then hung a whole jury? God, bloodlust knows no bounds.
Before the second trial, which did not go well for them.
Right.
But anyway, so while they're in jail waiting, to get everything set up for that second, this is about 3 years they've been in jail now. That's when the OJ Bronco chase went down.
And I guess I forgot those two things happened around the same time.
And I don't know if this is what happened in real life, but this is what they put in the Monsters documentary.
Okay.
So I'm going to guess there might be a modicum of, I don't know exactly what was said between them, but apparently, not Lyle, the other one. Eric, thank you. They at this point, they're not near each other. One's in one cell block, the other's in another cell block. But apparently, when OJ got busted and arrested after the Bronco deal, he got they show it where they're earlier in the day or later, an hour or two earlier, they're making Eric scrub the cell next to him, like clean it all up. And what's all this for? He's like, we got a celebrity coming. And sure enough, it was OJ.
Nice.
and of course in the show, Eric and them portray, because it's actually Menendez's first attorney was Shapiro,
right?
Which we all know is one of the principal OJ team guys, and he's one of the ones not named Johnny Cochran.
Right.
But anyway, and so and in the series they he kind of screwed us. I wouldn't recommend him in OJ's, but they also show like the guards and everything, like, Mr. OJ, here's your thing, sir. Have a seat. He's like, can we get you anything? And OJ's like, I get you something to eat. We'll get you something. That kind of, make it seem.
Was it anybody like notable playing OJ?
They didn't even show his face.
Okay.
So it was just a shadow of a man, and you never actually see OJ. You just hear him talk a couple times, but you never see his face or anything.
Gotcha.
So the way they film it. So now I don't know if there's more OJ to come in the next episode, but
I know it's not the same producer, because the more I've thought about it, Ryan Murphy's the guy who did who's doing this series.
Yeah.
And for those who don't know, he's also the one behind the horror story.
The American Horror Story on FX.
FX, yeah. That's his thing too.
Yeah. Okay.
So he's got kind of a style, but I know it's not the same producer. But it would have been really funny if they can get Cuba Gooding Jr. to reprise his OJ
the cameo.
role.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that would be funny because that was the True Crime Story, other FX. Associated with the horror story, but it's the crime. Like they stick like the famous ones on that one. OJ trial, one of the fashion people that ended up getting killed or killed people.
Johnny Versace.
Yeah, that one and all that. So, but anyway, so it was just funny. I watched that. I was like, oh, really? And I'm not sure. I was like, if this is true, that's so weird. But I feel like it's just crowbarred to make it more dramatic license. That whole deal. It's like, well, the planets dual. We can make that work.
What my guess is, while they were putting things together for the movie, is, hey, do you guys know that they were in the same facility as the OJ was locked up in?
What if?
Yeah, exactly. And that's where, based on a true story, based on actual events, comes into play.
Exactly. But then again, there might be where they ended up next to each other. But as far as what actually was said between the two, if anything at all,
right?
That's the part they
the
make.
world may never know.
That's right. So, let's see. Let's get. Let me give you the rundown for this hour of the show. Of course, we'll get you update the weather and all that here in just a bit. And then this hour we're going to play our interview. We had Geneva Martinez from the organization With Many Hands.
Yes.
And we mostly talked about a meeting that's taking place at Grace Community Church on Friday at 4 p.m. To discuss resources for flood victims. They're expecting representatives from Red Cross to FEMA to local charities and nonprofit organizations, and just kind of collaborating people needing resources, people offering resources. They want all hands on deck for this one. So if you're part of a nonprofit that's especially working and assisting with flood relief efforts, you might want to send a representative to that meeting. Again, tomorrow at 4 o'clock at Grace. But stay tuned. Listen up with the interview I have with Geneva. She'll tell you more about it.
There you go.
So, before we do any of that, though, let's go ahead and see how that weather's coming. You know, like Friday night and Saturday, they're talking like we're going to get wet.
Yeah.
They said 80% chance of rain on Friday.
Wow.
Friday night. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Not Friday. Friday night.
No accumulation, though, right?
No, it's rain.
No accumulation, though, right?
I hope not.
Okay. Yeah, I know it's rain. I know usually you say that for snow, but, well, we're a little gun shy around these parts lately.
They don't throw the caveats like some could be severe. None of that's in there.
That's
just an 80% chance of rain. So it's probably like we got a good chance of it raining for 5 minutes.
Yeah, just enough to tamp the dust down. That's all we're after.
But all I'm saying is might want to bring a rain jacket when you go out to the Wool Bowl on Friday. That's all I'm saying.
Yep.
So it is 8:12. Here's your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Low 70s for the high today. Should be pretty nice. We have high pressure parked over the Four Corners, and that'll be covering our area for a while. Overnight looks clear, low to mid 40s, and then we warm up a little bit on Friday with mid to upper 70s, and will be sunny. Low pressure moving in from the southwest on Saturday, and that could give us a few showers. Sunny and low 70s on Sunday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Let's see here. Currently, did I refresh? I did not. Man, I'm bad. Currently, 42 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 47%. Winds are out of the south at 5 miles per hour. Sunny and expect a high near 70 today. Winds will be out of the south, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Skies will be clear tonight. Expect an overnight low of 41 degrees. Southeast winds at around 5 miles per hour. Mostly sunny for you Friday, mid-70s tomorrow, 74 for a high. Winds will be out of the southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then tomorrow night, that's what I was talking about earlier. We're looking at 80% chance of showers and thunderstorms pretty much before midnight and then after midnight as well, too. Expect an overnight low of 58 degrees with south winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. For Saturday, we're looking at a 60% chance of showers and thunderstorms. And they're talking all day, looks like, before and afternoon. Partly cloudy with a high of 76 on Saturday. South winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then no talk of rain Sunday during the day, mostly sunny and 73. And nor no talk of rain Saturday night as well. And then 30% chance of rain Sunday night, though, with mostly cloudy skies, 46 for an overnight low. And then mostly sunny with floating in the mid-60s. Looks like for a good hunk of, at least through Wednesday, 64 Monday, 65 Tuesday, 67 on Wednesday. So not too bad next week. All right, 8:15, we're going to take a 2.5-minute break, and then we're going to play our interview with Geneva Martinez from the organization With Many Hands. That's up next. Don't go away.
Sure, you can inspect your own roof, get out that rickety ladder, crawl around up there and try to spot the problem until... Or you could call the experts at Do Right Roofing. Do Right Roofing has quality products for any type of roof. They can even install seamless gutters. Do Right Roofing will inspect your roof and give you a free estimate fast. Keep your feet on the ground. Call Do Right Roofing today.
575-623-2273. Let Do Right do your roof right.
Find them fast in names and numbers.
Hey, this is Jennifer from Trustmark Roofing. Every storm chaser's worst nightmare. You know storm chasers, those out-of-town roofers that descend on neighborhoods after big storms. They come in, do a crummy job, then poof, they're gone forever. Well, a few years ago, our area had a hailstorm, and right on cue, storm chasers showed up. I was driving home from work one evening and saw one talking to an elderly lady on her porch. I said, "Not today, buddy." I did a U-turn, pulled in the driveway, and walked right up to them. I warned the woman who they were talking to, and I chased away the storm chaser. The woman's daughter called me later and said a storm chaser ripped them off a few years ago. She thanked me for stopping this one and chose Trustmark for her roof. Trustmark Roofing, every storm chaser's nightmare, every homeowner's champion. Call today for your 20% off coupon for our spring and roof gutter maintenance service. 575-755-ROOF. or visit TrustmarkRoofPros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people People first.
Are you ready to succeed? The health education programs at ENMU Roswell can set you up for success with a wide variety of courses such as emergency medical services, fire science, medical assisting, nursing, and respiratory therapy. ENMU Roswell can prepare you for a rewarding career in the healthcare industry. ENMUR stacks courses in order to get the student into a job as quickly as possible while creating a pathway for more advanced certifications, licenses, and degrees. Eastern New Mexico University Roswell. Success starts here.
Over a week ago, heavy rainfall led to devastating flooding in Chavez County, leaving hundreds of homes uninhabitable in Roswell, Dexter, Hagerman, and Midway. As the community starts the recovery process, the American Red Cross is here to help. Disaster relief assistance sessions will be held in Roswell and Dexter to identify individual and family needs. In Roswell at 1210 North Main, across from the Fairfield Inn, Friday, November 1st and Saturday, November 2nd between 9 and 6. And in Dexter on Sunday and Monday, November 3rd and 4th at the Dexter Public Library, 115 East 2nd Street. This message brought to you by the American Red Cross.
Mulan has the highest kill count of any Disney character. When asked for comment, Buzz Lightyear responded, "To infinity and beyond." Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 25 minutes after 7 o'clock, and joining us in the studio this morning, Geneva Martinez back with us with, she wears many hats, but we'll call it our Many Hands organization hat today. Good morning, Geneva.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm well. I'm
good,
well.
Good.
So.
Of course, I know you and so many other great people around town have really been out and about since the flooding, and this is what you guys do all the time. You know, this is kind of when there's not a flood, you guys work with homeless or working with anybody in need, and so now it just turned up we got a whole community of people in need now because of this flooding. So really, your Many Hands has kind of turned focus and attention to resources for flooding victims, and from everything from the immediate needs. Now we're kind of shifting gears to, all right, the cleanup side and how do we get our homes and things back. So we're kind of starting to shift from that taking care of, you got a place to stay, you got a meal, to, all right, how do I get my life back to normal again?
Yeah, most definitely. And this is a multi-agency effort. And there was a meeting held at Casa Kids on Monday, and I just saw a real need for organizations not just to come together, because we are coming together, but a town hall to be really set up for the public.
Sure, a place where a pipeline for people can get solid, good information on where to go for resources or what's available or what's not available.
Absolutely. Yeah. So it's a partnership between Casa Kids with Many Hands, 211, the Health Council, to try to bring together our leaders, not just of our city, but of our county, our state, and
federally even.
Federal, yes, and also get some of these organizations that are coming in. Yesterday, I got to meet 2 Red Cross workers at Peppers that came down from San Antonio. And we're so appreciative of the outside help, and we really, you know, like I've heard you even without talking to me about using the phrase of "with many hands makes work lighter."
Absolutely.
And it really does. And we have seen our community step in, but also people have to go back to work. We noticed that Main Street is cleared up, some of the mainer streets, and so kind of our mindset is it's in back. What you don't see is not so much affecting you now, but we still have our neighbors.
Absolutely.
When I say our neighbors, I mean, you know, our friends and family are still very much devastated and hurt, and there is major work still to be done.
Absolutely.
So everybody keeps asking, what's next? What's next? You know, the Convoy of Hope semis were coming through.
Yeah, they were all through last week, and probably still 1 or 2 in town, I imagine. Too.
Yeah. So that was not Church on the Move. Waymaker.
Yes, Waymaker.
Joel Wood really stepped up and took that role on to get those to the distribution sites. And there's just been so many different nonprofits that have stepped up, and churches. And so kind of coordinating the services as well. We're at the point now where Red Cross could be referring to 211, and 211 is referring, you know, like where the resources are now becoming pretty thin.
Sure.
And the next steps of, okay, we got the stuff out of the house. When does the financial assistance come in?
When does the rebuild start?
The rebuild, yes.
Yeah.
My sister we were trying to buy a washing machine for some family, and 2 weeks out for Home Depot.
Oh, wow.
And so when you start looking at it,
and that was even like the COVID world, they were still doing a little bit of some of that.
Like
and so, it makes it worse, and certainly a lot more expensive.
Yeah. And so some of the feedback we're getting from the community is, our heat pumps went out, our hot water heaters went out. What about, everybody's up in arms about their water bill. How is this going to affect? Because they need water to clean. And I know the city's working on something there.
Sure. It's kind of a cocktail of problems all kind of coming together at once here.
It is. Yeah. And this is a time to have, so the panel will exist of our city. We need one of our city leaders, one of our county leaders. I'm hoping it will be both the city and county managers.
Okay.
Some representative and legislators, Red Cross, Salvation Army, the New Mexico Emergency Management, Department of Health.
Mm-hmm.
We notice that a lot of times we're at people's doors, they're not wearing the masks. I don't think they realize how quickly mold grows.
When you're dealing with that mold abatement and you wear the proper safety gear, please. This is how you always talk about those miners and asbestos and all that. It's because they don't properly protect themselves. And when that mold, and people die from black mold and things like that, please wear the mask. Please wear the respirators. Whatever you're supposed to wear them.
Yeah, and all my research through just our city housing, right? Yeah. So I researched and found that 70% of our homes were built from 1920 to 1980. So yes, we're talking about not just mold, but asbestos and lead and everything that comes with your neighbor's stuff ending up in your yard.
All I'm saying is, if y'all notice, anytime they take one of these buildings and they do an asbestos abatement project on them, you ever notice they almost turn that place into a secure facility? They tent it because there's a lot of nastiness in there.
Yeah.
You should not be in there just whacking away with a hammer.
Absolutely.
I get it. I know some dudes, and they're like, I'll be fine. And no, you will not be fine. That will catch up with you. Please don't do that.
Right. Absolutely. And then also maybe we can have I'm going to reach out to the Attorney General's office or maybe the New Mexico Legal Aid, so people have a chance to hear what really happens in these disaster areas to other smaller communities where you'll see people come in and try to swoop property at really low rates.
There is this shady element that preys upon these types of things, and it is such a dark side of humanity, but it is a reality that we got to be on guard for, basically.
So many different vans going around, if you look around, with different cleanup services and how do you properly research, and everybody really just wants to hurry up and get back to their life.
Absolutely.
Right?
And you're going to sacrifice maybe a little bit of research for the thought of convenience.
Right.
And that's what they're hoping you do, because that's unfortunately how they make their quick buck and take the money and usually leave off in the night without doing any of the work they promised.
Yeah. I'm fortunate that I didn't get hit this flood, but last year I experienced a flood at my house due to my parents. They overflowed my toilet and let it running for 48 hours. But with that,
self-induced.
I'm still cleaning that up.
Really?
My yard is still not 100%. My bathroom still isn't restored, and I still have an office, and it takes the time, and it's grief.
Sure.
Yes, this isn't it's possession and it's material things, and we have lost some lives, but also people going through their stuff and their pictures, and I'm hearing stuff on Facebook of a lady that will help restore pictures, and it really is community stepping up.
Yeah.
But also we do need guidance from the leaders that we've put in office too.
Yeah. So this is why you've put together this basically meeting, town hall, whatever you want to call it, as a place where people can sit, have actual people from various resources with actual straight answers to that, the straightest of answers we have at this point.
Absolutely. And it's going to be very structured.
Sure.
Grace Community is going to loan us their safety
Excellent.
team.
Open their home for everybody.
Yep. So it'll be at Grace Community at 4:00 this Friday. We will have our panelists. We will have a moderator.
Okay.
So we're gonna do it to where we will be taking questions from the audience, but
this
not,
isn't like a mob, like,
No.
what are you doing about my? Yeah,
Absolutely.
This is strictly informational. It's like, hey, how can we collaborate, get together? Look, we got as many of the partners, locally and federally on up together, trying to coordinate resources, trying to work. And to be honest, I'm going to take it as they're probably using this for feedback too, because I'm sure they're going to be taking notes. A lot of people need this. A lot of people need this.
Right. So that we're very excited about how we're going to run this. And with the tech support from Grace and Carrie with 211, helping us kind of figure out, we're going to have surveys.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone will have their phone. Everyone will pull out their phone and scan a QR code. That's where you guys can give us feedback. We'll have live polls so we could see what immediate needs are.
Okay.
What are
Let's get a little high techy too.
Yes. Yeah. And the purpose is we want to answer as many questions, but in a very
efficient
strategic
way.
a way that and we won't allow outbursts.
Sure. I get it. Emotions are still pretty
very
high. But right now we need more logic and action and less emotion.
Right. If we use our ears in this, we can gain the most knowledge from the people that can give us the straight answers.
Absolutely.
There are so many different things going around on social media. It's like, do this. No, don't do this. Like, you have to wait. And so here, this is going to be from the mouth of the people that we have put our trust in.
Yeah, this isn't, and I get it too. We're in an election cycle politically. There's a lot of people are charged up, so even that kind of stuff's entering people's mind with this type of thing. All I'm asking is, look, put all that aside. This is about hearts, humans, getting people back. It has nothing to do with D's, R's, policies, any of that crap. We're just people here trying to get people resources to help. That's what this meeting's all about, and that's what everything's about. Like
Absolutely.
This. So what are your feelings about the current administration or the past administration? Does not come into play during this stuff right now.
Absolutely. when it comes to disasters and people's homes, food, life,
yes,
there's nothing political about it.
Absolutely.
Right.
And I just want to remind people of that, because I know people are charged up, and like I said, there's going to be federal resources there, and anytime that happens, people that are mad at the government are mad at the government. They're going to be doing what they're doing. It's like, I understand the way you feel, but now's not the time.
Right.
Now is the time. So let's see what we can do. We want as many resources on the table. You want FEMA standing there. You want the Red Cross standing there, because that's what these folks do, and they're the ones that can bring in the big the stuff that we just quite frankly aren't equipped to handle. That's what they do. And so we locally have to target and pinpoint them to do the most benefit for it. And I think that's what this meeting is about, for them to get, rather than them come in and just say, you need this, this, and this, let's come in and say, no, we need this, this, and this. How can you help us get that? And that's what this meeting's really about.
Yes. So we're inviting the community to, this is for the people.
Mm-hmm.
The panel is to get out the information to the people, and that's who need it right now. This isn't just organizations coming together and saying, how can we assist? We have to do a needs assessment. What is the community telling?
We're still triaging, really.
Exactly.
We're still peeling back layers of, we may know what's on Main Street. We may know, unfortunately, the statuses of some of our museums and things right now. But you go to any neighborhood and you're seeing piles and piles of debris on almost every single home in certain neighborhoods and things. We're still peeling back the layers there, because let's face it, some of those houses are probably in a lot worse shape than even people realize right now. And that's what we're talking about, the black mold and all that. People's going to live in this thing, and if not doing proper cleanup and abatement, people are going to get sick, people are going to die. So we got to really triage this stuff and make sure that kind of stuff doesn't happen in the future.
Right.
That's what we're dealing with. This is not just about, hey, I need a place to live. Hey, I don't want to keep living in my house that's now damaged, that's now not only decrepit, but is now a health and safety risk for me.
Right.
That's That's what we got to stop, because without those resources and people don't have money, they're just going to continue to, live where they can and do what they can, and it's gonna affect them.
Yes.
And so this is what we're trying to avoid, to keep that from happening, because without these resources, unfortunately, that's the end product if we don't do that. Because some folks they're going to try to do what they can, but they don't have the money or the resources to take care of how it really needs to be done. And so that's and to be honest, that deteriorates the neighborhood. All the things we talk about, that's how you start it, is by leaving the blind eye to these things.
Right,
So
right.
that's why we've got to get everybody back on page and back to at a level that maybe even better than they were before the storm started here.
Right, yeah. And, with Many Hands, our main focus is affordable housing and increasing housing in Roswell. And this just kind of devastated, but that doesn't mean that we're not going to stop looking for the funding and looking at policy changes on how we can build quicker, and maybe start looking at what does it take to get a tiny house village here.
Certainly got the space somewhere around here.
We got the space.
Yeah,
definitely.
we could definitely put it out here.
Yeah,
And
but again, this isn't for 3 years down the line. This is right now. What is the immediate needs, and what are the next steps to get us through this first 12 months, this first 6 months? Like we have people displaced.
Yeah.
And
I mean, to be honest, I'm thinking, and this is where I don't know how we get there, but I'm going to imagine there's whole neighborhoods right now of people that really shouldn't be living in them houses.
Right.
And we need to, maybe that's the solution. Build these small town, the mini houses, whatever, just for now. Say, hey, you stay here for 3 months, 6 months, whatever it is, while we get your neighborhood fixed back up. And then when they're back, then we move everybody back. Maybe there's some a tent city. I don't know. It's nicer than tent city, trailer, something. But you know what I mean? Something where it's a temporary housing place where maybe these neighborhoods at some point down the road are going to have to live into for a couple of weeks, a month or two, till their homes, because you can't live in a construction site, especially if some of the amount of work that's going to be done on these houses. They can't live in them while they're doing them. So maybe that's the direction we go. I don't know, but this is what we got to talk about. This is what we got to figure out.
I mean, even it being, a week or so, I am still hearing of people sleeping on wet mattresses. And it's heartbreaking, and it's not safe.
No.
So this is the reason of the town hall, is to bring everybody together, get accurate information out. Social media has been great for resources and like who's serving who and who's going where, but also to be able to also during our poll session, we'll be able to, if other nonprofits are available or present, that they can put in their information so we can add it to the 211 list.
And to be honest, I would encourage, everybody, obviously, but every organization to have representatives, too. Because really, this is also, maybe we've got several organizations doing the same thing, and we don't need all doing the same thing. Maybe we can, do triage a little bit and coordinate to say, hey, if you focus on this need, we'll focus on this, and together we'll get it both knocked out. That's the kind of logistics we're also going to be figuring out at this meeting, too. So please, if you're part of a church or part of a nonprofit that's heavily involved or would like to get involved in the recovery efforts, please send representation to Grace here on Friday.
Yes.
To be a part of this.
Yes.
So
Grace Community Church.
Yeah.
Friday at 4 p.m. 4 to 6. I don't know if it'll go that long, but
or it may go longer depending on
we wanted to make sure we'd get done before
church is on Sunday. They'll kick you out eventually.
We want to make sure we were done before the Roswell High Goddard game.
That is true. There is a big game on Friday, and otherwise you're going to have a lot of phones going off with noise and touchdown. You're going to hear half the crowd yell this way and half this way. Yeah, it's going to be.
And keep out for the flyer. It should be coming out today through the Travis County Health Council. Okay. It'll probably be shared all over. And there will be a Zoom link as well. We are trying to get a lot of our Hispanic neighborhoods were hit as well.
Gotcha.
Midway, Dexter. We need to have some Spanish representation. So we're trying to look at how Zoom
and that's something too.
An interpreter. interpretator.
Gotcha. Too, because we talk about Roswell here, but yes, Dexter, Hagerman, these folks, some were worse, and even, would they be included in this too, or are they having their own
Travis
special
County.
meetings? Okay, it's all of Travis County. Very, very good. I didn't know if they were going to set something similar up in Dexter or Hagerman, but no, this is for all of Travis County. Folks in Dexter, Hagerman, please come to Roswell for the Grace Community Church meeting on Friday here. Because yes, these resource impact, and then yes, we haven't talked about it as much, but Dexter, Hagerman, I'm hearing reports that almost every structure in Dexter was impacted in some way, shape, or form. So
right,
there's a lot of that going on throughout the county. We think of Roswell and downtown here, but it's a little bit more widespread.
Right.
So.
And I got to thank the small businesses in this town that really have stepped up and let their workers go.
Mm-hmm.
Even Walmart and Home Depot let some of their workers come out and assist.
Oh, excellent. Because I imagine those places were really, people looking for new resources. I'm sure Walmart, Home Depot, all those places were packed to the gills with customers.
We think of them as the big box chain that, let's support local. But also those are local people that, there are neighbors also.
I'm pretty sure the manager and the checkers and everybody that works at Home Depot don't live in California.
Exactly. So they came out and helped. Walmart came out and helped us with those container boxes, and we still have some of those left over. Not very many, but they're 6 by 6 by 8 storage boxes.
Okay, so if you're still in need of some of those.
Yeah, so if anybody still needs those boxes, so they're like crates. They're moving crates.
Yeah, basically for storage. If you got some items that are good, but you're displaced and can't, keep all your, whatever, couches, tables, wherever you can fit in that thing.
Right.
That's a place we can store while you get your home back to where it can
they would have to
again.
come pick it up, and they're put together with clips. So this used to be like a moving company that would take these boxes out.
So they're actually surprisingly portable compared to their awkwardness when they're set up.
Right, yeah. But then you can just screw them together and even add a lock to it.
Okay. And they're durable and secure. And they might, if you need that kind of thing, reach out. Probably good 2-1, like we said. That's kind of a, if you have any questions about Friday or anything, that's what we're telling people. 211, that's the Chaves County Health Council's hotline, and we've kind of commandeered it for the flooding here, for all things flooding. And if you have questions, resources, and that's the coordinated effort. The health councils with that hotline's kind of the center for for information, resources, and like you said, many hands and Red Cross. Everybody else is kind of working through that number too.
Right.
So that's our official. If you're really confused or just absolutely flummoxed on where to turn about anything flood related, when in doubt, call 211.
Yes. Another resource just to throw out there that I came across that I think more public should know about, especially if you don't have health insurance. We're coming up in this flu and cold season.
This is the season again.
Yeah. It's, oh, man.
COVID and all the other
Here we
talks.
go.
Yeah.
But some of the pharmacies around town, Farmers North, I know, you can get a strep test or a influenza or a COVID test for $35 there, and then they can treat you as well.
Okay, excellent.
So if you're positive for strep throat, they can give you the antibiotics.
So
for
he's like, yep,
for,
you tested positive. Here's the meds. Go rest.
Yep. And I think a total of it is $55 to get treated.
That's actually very affordable. Yeah.
Right. Especially if you don't have insurance.
Yeah.
Or
even if you do, you're still paying like $30 for copay and everything else. Yeah.
And then you don't want to take off an hour and a half to get into your physician.
So it might work regardless of whether you have insurance or not. It might be a better option for you.
Yeah. So just to throw that little resource out there.
Yeah. Put in your back pocket in case you get the sniffles here in the next couple months or two.
Right.
'Tis the season coming up here. So.
Yeah. Especially if you can get on top of it, if you feel it coming on, and people know their bodies, know when something's changing.
Absolutely.
So.
Yeah. And obviously, as you get older, these things impact you a little bit more than younger. You don't think about these things, but then you start seeing gray hairs and things, and then the colds don't. Yeah. Or no hairs.
I feel called out.
I do want to do a plug here too. If you're looking to get involved, if you're looking to volunteer, Many Hands organizations always looking for more volunteers in various capacities. Everything from grunt work stuff to moving tables and chairs and being at events to being more in the paperwork side, whether it's the legal side or the like what you do with grants and or finding resources, or whether it's knocking on doors or picking up chairs and moving them to whatever. There's all sorts of different levels of assistance needed for the Many Hands organization.
Right. We have a pretty strong leadership team, and if anybody wants to join the With Many Hands leadership team, please reach out to our Facebook page or our Facebook group. I think we're just at 500 in our group, which is pretty exciting.
Awesome.
Yeah, because it's all grassroots.
Absolutely. Yeah, this is literally your brainchild and a few other folks that just kind of, it's this thing again. I say this all the time. We have this group of people, I don't put the number on it, 100, 200, whatever it is. It's just, and they're everywhere. And you're one of them, and there's a lot of the group that are, part of the Many Hands organization are the same, that you'll see them in other circles and other places, and they're involved in there's these people in our community, and we need more of those folks. We need more hands to make less work on this one. Literally, it's because at some point, yourself, your other, you guys will work yourself to death. I know it. And we need to not to have you do less of that.
My husband said
people to do that.
My husband said, "When are you going to separate work and home?" And I said, "Well, I don't know. I couldn't answer it. I said, give me to Christmas. I have a week off." So,
well, tell your family thank you for their sacrifice.
Yeah, I love without the support of my husband, I couldn't do all this work.
Yeah.
So,
and that's what I'm saying is we need more people to get involved. We need to inspire younger folks to get into these positions and to get. So that's why, and I'll say this again: if it's not Many Hands, find something. Pick your passion, whatever it is, and get involved with it. Whether it's literacy, whether it's homeless, whether it's youth activity, whatever that your passion is, set aside time in your life to get more involved with that, and because that's how we make this community better. Everything will be better when we all pick one thing. You don't have to be dumb like us and pick 7. Pick one.
Yeah, how many boards are you on now?
Right. I don't know. But yeah, that's kind of. I would love to inspire that. But if you want to get involved and you want to help people right now, especially with the flooding stuff, please reach out to Many Hands. Call 211 if you want and say, "Hey, I want to get involved." I'm sure they'll be happy to point you in a few places that they can get you to help out, stuff like that. And we saw so much of that over the last couple of weeks here, and we just got to inspire people. That doesn't end even now that we're starting. Kids are back in school and there's elements of life that are coming back to normal. There is so many other parts that aren't. And so we can't forget that and now that we're not on the news every day talking about our flooding anymore, we got to make sure the resources keep coming. People don't forget that, oh yeah, we were devastated here.
Right.
And we're still picking up the pieces, even though we're not on the nightly news anymore. So that's what we got to keep.
And I heard your weather report saying that we're
there's some rain chances Friday, Saturday. I'm hoping it's not anything that's gonna maybe just something to maybe wash away some of the dust, just enough to do that.
Yeah, yesterday was rough.
Yeah. Like we said, probably at this point, if you really have questions about the meeting on Friday or really anything, probably quickest way is just dial 211 and let and that way Carrie or whoever is responding. I don't know if it's Carrie on there. Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. I just got a picture of Carrie sitting at a table and there's like phones. But anyway.
And like your office, multiple computer screens.
Yeah. Maybe like that operator thing, like old school with hold on and but anyway, I know it's none of that, but that's in my head it looks like. But anyway, let them if they that's kind of a quick and like I said, you go online. I invite you to go check out Many Hands website and other organizations. Our Jocelyn's always here. Food Not Bombs. I always talk. I love this type of stuff because this is action. This is. I always have a mindset of, why are we doing it this way when we can just do it this way? It's stupid to me that part of me is that veteran in me. Just that I'm tired of the red tape, and so.
Yep.
Organizations like Many Hands and Food Not Bombs and really grassroots stuff. I love it because it's all passion and it's all going to the cause.
Right.
And it's fluid. where they can address the need and triage it. They're not beholden to, well, this dollar is earmarked for cups, or whatever it is, That's I get so tired of that crap, and I'm like,
the
no.
bureaucracy of
it's
just quit talking about it, just do it.
Exactly. I'm very much in that, and so I love to spotlight and I love to champion organizations that just say, well, the need's there, we're going to do it anyway, regardless you tell me I can or not. That's what we're going to do because that's what needs to be done.
Mm-hmm.
And I encourage you to support those as well.
Yep. See a need, fill it.
With your money, with your own personal, time, whatever it is, we could appreciate that too.
Yep.
But don't forget, this Friday at Grace Community Church, what time was that?
4 p.m.
4 p.m. We want to invite everybody to come to Grace Community Church for a resource information town hall type event. We're going to have resources from nonprofits locally to our big boys, our Red Cross and FEMA, and I believe you said Department of Homeland Security's emergency preparedness. They'll probably have some representatives there too, along with our legislators and stuff. We're trying to get everybody on the same page to triage and see what needs are, and then see what resources are available and and the timeline. What's next? Now that we're shifting from, all right, does everybody got water? Does everybody got a meal tonight? To, all right, what are we going to do to replace your home? What are we going to do to replace your life again, or get your life back to? And that's where we're at now. So if you want those questions, what's next, or where do I need to turn? Please, this meeting is just for that. To let's say, all right, now that we've kind of got an assessment and everybody's not in immediate danger, how do we get back to normal again? And let's plot and plan that event next. And that's really what this meeting on Friday is about.
Yes, absolutely.
Excellent. Is there anything we missed?
If you're a nonprofit that is out there and you're not part of the 211 resource list, please just pick up the phone, call it. If you want your numbers to be counted for and what you are available to help with,
sure,
we would love to have you on that resource list before Friday.
Yeah.
So that when we are handing out the resources list, you are present on there. We don't want to overwhelm nonprofits, but also, again, with many hands,
sure,
many organizations, it does make the work lighter and more efficient.
Because like you said, we're doing a lot of things efficiently with smartphones and things. Probably a good idea to bring those with you on Friday.
Right.
But if you do have family members that are, we'll call them technically challenged. I'm a little bit like that myself. Bring your smart kid with them. Whoever it is, grandkid or daughter or son or whoever it is, and maybe help them or maybe do it for them while they're there to, the QR codes and the things.
Yes.
That, I know if you don't do that stuff often, it's kind of confusing. So bring your kid or whomever that is the regular TikToker and, user of social medias to navigate them through that kind of
Yeah, you actually probably pointed out something that I'll probably bring up at this meeting, that maybe we could hand out some 3x5 cards. If they don't want to submit it digitally, they can at least submit it written down. We're not going to get to everybody's question, but there will be a moderator that will be going through the questions, find the most appropriate questions that we keep hearing, like what about this? And so even if your question wasn't asked, we will still be going through every single question post Friday to try to address everybody's concern.
Absolutely. So get the ones we didn't get to in the public, we're going to get to in private and answer personally if we need to.
Yep.
Perfect. So please get your so whether it's through the phone or if you do through the postcard or whatever, as you get there Friday, they'll have more instructions and information for you on that. But please come out, Grace Community Church at 4 p.m. this Friday. Come for an informational town hall meeting on resources and all things flooding and what's on next and where do we go next. This is what this meeting is about. Please come if you need resources, if you need information, if you have resources and information to offer, please be a part of this event.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you, Geneva, and thank you and everyone for over there for what you guys do, and we look forward to anything you guys need. Let us know, and we look forward to chit-chat. One of these days we're going to bring you on. It's going to be all fun and happy stuff.
Yeah, I believe that very soon. Last day of early voting is Saturday, right?
That's right. Get her done if you want to early vote. Otherwise, we'll vote on Election Day, which if you do not early vote, please do that at least.
Yes.
Don't let the world be decided by someone other
Everybody
than you.
has a voice.
That's right.
Everybody
get your
does.
say in there, too. So thank you. Thank you, Geneva. Appreciate you. It is 7:58. Let's do a quick news update before news.
Roswell police are looking for a couple of missing persons. 77-year-old James Smith was reported missing by his nephew October 24th. The nephew reported he and other family members have not been able to contact Smith since October 13th. Smith lives at 1710 North Union Avenue in Roswell. He has not been there, and his vehicle, a gray Toyota 4Runner with an Arizona tag, has also not been found. And RPD is also searching for Samantha Broylette, who is 43. Broylette was allegedly battered by her boyfriend, Manuel Lemos, and left along the side of a road at an unknown location the night of October 26th. Broylette has not been seen since. Lemos has since been booked into jail and charged with battery. Flood recovery efforts are well underway at the Roswell Museum, which was devastated by the recent flooding. Assessment of the 51,000 square foot facility is ongoing, which includes the 12 galleries, the planetarium, classrooms, the auditorium, and the ceramics studio. The museum says the recovery will take years. Floodwaters reached 5 feet in parts of the museum. Volunteers arrived Monday morning to begin removing debris and mud from outside the building, allowing for safer entry. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
It's time for the Chaves County Sports Report. Well, we got some volleyball action going on tonight, and Roswell is still in cruise control mode with a 20-1 record, 4-0 in district, and they will be taking on Carlsbad at home. It starts at 6 o'clock. Roswell swept Hobbs on Tuesday. A little bit closer than that 3-0 count might indicate. It was 25-19, 26-24, 26-24. Meanwhile, Goddard at home against Lovington. Goddard defeated Portales 3-2 on Tuesday. Super close until Goddard blew him out in the fifth set, 15-7. Halen Haskins, 21 kills. Naomi Smith with 16 kills. Goddard against Lovington tonight at 6:30. Also tonight, Hagerman at home against Texaco. Texaco is 17-3. Gateway Christian 15-3, hosting 16-5 Elida. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Low 70s for the high today. Should be pretty nice. We have high pressure parked over the Four Corners, and that'll be covering our area for a while. Overnight looks clear, low to mid 40s, and then we warm up a little bit on Friday with mid to upper 70s, and will be sunny. Low pressure moving in from the southwest on Saturday, and that could give us a few showers. Sunny and low 70s on Sunday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
All across America, this is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report.
I'm James Flippin. U.S. stocks finished lower yesterday as traders continued to evaluate earnings results. In yesterday's economic data, the GDP grew at a rate of 2.8% in the third quarter. That's below the 3% growth in Q2 and below the 3% analysts had predicted. Pending home sales rose by 7.4% in September. All four regions of the U.S. experienced month-over-month gains in transactions. And ADP reports private employment grew by 233,000 jobs in October, exceeding expectations. Annual pay was up by 4.6%. In today's economic calendar, we'll get personal income for September, also the Fed's preferred measure of inflation, the PCE index, and initial jobless claims. Company-specific news. Starbucks threatening to fire its corporate employees who don't come back to the office. It's been nearly 2 years since the company mandated that corporate employees spend at least 3 days a week in office. Also, Starbucks has announced it's removing its Oleato products infused with olive oil from U.S. stores. Some locations, like in Italy and Japan, will continue to sell that. That's the Market Report, and I'm James Flippin.
This is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report.
There are black beans, and then there are Goya black beans. Whole, plump, delicious, and loved by all kinds of chefs. The professional chefs at Chef's Best love them so much, they awarded our beans their Excellence Award. At Home Chefs love them so much, they awarded our beans the internationally acclaimed Goya black beans. Whole, plump, and oh so delicious. Find them in the Goya section of your local grocery store. If it's Goya, it has to be good.
There's nothing more magical than 80,000 cubic feet of hot air flying overhead, hearing the burners shoot propane and inflate the envelope of beautiful colors right before your eyes. Whether this is your family's lifelong tradition or you are new to Southeast New Mexico, make plans to join us for Balloons and Tunes at Eagle Draw Park at dawn on Saturday and Sunday morning, November 2nd and 3rd. Seeing the balloons is just the start, but join us to hear the tunes too. Artesia Chamber, Artesia Main Street, and Artesia Arts Council have partnered up to bring you a concert event Friday, November 1st that will surely get you in the mood for hot air balloons. Join us at the corner of 5th and Texas Street for Balloons, Bands, and Brews, where you'll enjoy food, New Mexico brews, and live music, including the Artesia High School Marching Band, playing along with our hot air balloon pilots. All events are weather permitting, and more information can be found at artesiachamber.com. Balloons and Tunes, November 2nd and 3rd in Artesia, New Mexico. Book hotels direct for the best rates. Ad paid for by Artesia Lodgers Tax.
Artesia General Hospital has welcomed cardiologist Luther Weathers to the team. Dr. Weathers is board certified with a subspecialty in cardiovascular diseases. He treats patients with genetic heart defects, heart rhythm disorders, heart failure, coronary artery disease, chronic high blood pressure, and other cardiovascular diseases. Call 575-736-8270 to schedule your visit with Dr. Weathers in Artesia or visit artesiageneral.com/cardio appointment. Se habla español.
Over a week ago, heavy rainfall led to devastating flooding in Chavez County, leaving hundreds of homes uninhabitable in Roswell, Dexter, Hagerman, and Midway. As the community starts the recovery process, the American Red Cross is here to help. Disaster relief assistance sessions will be held in Roswell and Dexter to identify individual and family needs. In Roswell at 1210 North Main, across from the Fairfield Inn, Friday, November 1st and Saturday, November 2nd between 9 and 6, and in Dexter on Sunday and Monday, November 3rd and 4th at the Dexter Public Library, 115 East 2nd Street. This message brought to you by the American Red Cross.
Your fingernails grow faster on your dominant hand. Not sure which is your dominant hand? Just wait. You'll nail it. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. Closing in on 8:59. If you're listening there at the end there, the American Red Cross PSA that just played there. Yes, they are going to be offering that relief assistance for folks here in Chavez County at the two different events in Chavez County here in Roswell tomorrow and Saturday, November 1st and 2nd from 9 to 6 at 1210 North Main, right across from Fairfield Inn. And then in Dexter at the Dexter Public Library on Sunday and Monday, November 3rd and 4th from 9 to 6, and that's at 115 East 2nd. Each disaster is different, so are the needs for of each affected community and family. So I believe at this event, the Red Cross will be assessing the individual needs for each impacted household and then provide recovery assistance, recovery planning, and referrals to various community partners. That's how they're going to be working. The Eastern Mexico State Fairgrounds will continue to serve as a shelter as well. Also, tune in tomorrow morning in the 7 o'clock hour. We're going to have folks from the Red Cross telling us more about all of this stuff there, too. All right, you're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico. We'll be back on the other side of news.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Couple of swing states, Arizona and Nevada, on the itinerary today for Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. Additionally, Mr. Trump has an event planned in New Mexico. That's a rally in Albuquerque. And if you think you've heard it all during this heated presidential race, hold on a minute.
How do you like my garbage truck?
Former President Trump at the wheel of a MAGA garbage truck. His response to President Biden, referring to Trump supporters as garbage. Kamala Harris, trying to distance herself from the controversy, continues to harp on the abortion issue, referring to Mr. Trump.
He would ban abortion nationwide.
Actually, Mr. Trump has repeatedly said that abortion is an issue that is best left to the states, and that is what happened post Roe versus Wade. The Supreme Court has given Virginia a green light to enforce state law by removing non-citizens from the voter rolls.
The emergency decision marks a loss for the Biden administration, which convinced lower courts to reinstate the registrations because the removals took place too close to the election. The court's three liberals Justices Sonia Sotomayor, Elena Kagan, and Ketanji Brown Jackson publicly dissented. Earlier this month, the Biden administration sued Virginia election officials over the 1,600 people removed from the state's photo rolls. Republican Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin issued an executive order in August formalizing the program. Ernie Bennett, Washington.
Israel's rescue service says a second rocket barrage from Lebanon has killed 2 people. That raises a death toll in northern Israel to 7. Tragedy at the Falls. New York State Police say a 33-year-old mother climbed over a safety rail and intentionally went over Niagara Falls with her 2 children, a 9-year-old and a 5-month-old. On Wall Street, stocks deep in the red. The Dow down 375 points. The Nasdaq is off 432. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals, too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
A new Saudi airline preparing for its debut has ordered dozens of planes from Airbus.
The company plans to begin passenger flights next summer and has placed orders for hundreds more planes, the company said in a statement. The creation of Riyadh Air by the Saudi Sovereign Wealth Fund is part of a broader Saudi strategy to diversify its oil-based economy and boost tourism. Saudi Arabia hopes to become a global aviation hub and attract 100 million annual visitors by 2030. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
Survivors of the worst natural disaster to hit Spain this century have awoken to scenes of devastation. Entire villages wiped away by monstrous flash flooding and claimed at least 95 lives. The death toll is expected to rise as search efforts continue, with an unknown number of people still missing in the aftermath of the devastating floods. News and analysis, townhall.com. Tupperware is still around after a bankruptcy judge proved its sale.
The move paves the way for the iconic food storage company to soon exit from Chapter 11 protection. The transaction is still subject to closing conditions. Under terms of the deal, a group of lenders is buying Tupperware's brand name and various operating assets for $23.5 million in cash and more than $63 million in debt relief. Going forward, customers will still be able to purchase Tupperware products online and through the company's decades-old network of independent sales consultants. John Scott reports.
The Washington Post has lost at least 250,000 subscribers since announcing last Friday it would not endorse a candidate in the presidential race. According to a report in the newspaper itself, that represents 10% of the paper's digital subscriptions at a time when the outlet, like many others, is struggling to remain relevant. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. No wonder everyone's confused around here. Welcome to hour number 3.
Brit. Tres Inviernos.
Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. The ultimate. Happy Halloween, everybody.
Yes.
Happy my wife's birthday for those who don't celebrate Halloween.
Since we're...
Right. You being ominous?
Now I just look like I'm pouting.
We're about to enter a poker tournament. One or the other.
I'll know what I look like in about 45 seconds when this feed catches up.
That's right. I know. I saw it.
It's like a weird mirror that I have to wait for.
But happy Halloween to everybody,
yes.
or happy my wife's birthday to those that are not celebrating Halloween.
It's really funny though to me that there's so much, and I think this every year. There's so much thought and so much like energy that's spent on what are we gonna do for Halloween? Where are we gonna go? What are we gonna dress up as? Immediately on November 1st, nobody cares.
Right, it's Christmas.
It's
and
gone. Like
yeah.
it could have been a year ago that Halloween was tomorrow.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing how quickly we're just like, well,
yep.
That was fun.
We'll talk about Thanksgiving for a minute, and then it's all Christmas. You know, it's kind of. But yes, it is. It is the.
I looked more like a druid than I did ominous.
I am a druid from Green Bay.
Jesu Domine.
I'm from the Cheesehead.
And if you get that joke, we can be friends.
I'm from the Cheesehead Monastery.
That's right. I'm a druid who's a pretty big Packer fan. That's me.
We cheer in silence. But one thing about Halloween that I kind of, it's just something I've noticed in the last week that's been like a meme trend that some I find actually kind of funny.
Okay.
And so the trend's been it's always the same photo that I've seen of this Halloween fall, and it's an orange bucket, and it's the leave one kind of take one candy, I'm not here, leave the but everyone's filling various things in the bucket. It's like everything from 80s cassette tapes to chitlins.
My favorite that I've seen of that is it's just a big pot, it's a cauldron. That's what I couldn't think of. And it's full of soup.
Yes.
And the sign says 1 slurp of pho per kid.
I got someone said pierogies. It was pretty good. 1 pierogi per child. I saw the 80s cassette tapes.
Go full Philly. 1/4 water per kid.
I swear there was a chili one. And it was like 1 spoonful per child or something. I don't know what it was. I feel like there was like oysters in one of them.
Probably, yeah.
I've just seen various things, 1 per child, please. And I'm like, I ain't gonna lie. Sorry, I'm taking that bucket if it's, fresh.
Here's what you do.
Yeah.
Go to your local McDonald's. See if they'll give you a stack of applications.
Okay.
And just leave them at the door. 1 application per kid, please.
I feel like if you want your house vandalized, that's a good way to say, please TP my house.
It basically is like, oh, you want some free candy? Get a job.
He thinks you're going to see those applications all over your house.
Honey, did you order confetti?
Yeah, just a hunch.
They're in the back shredding applications just to get...
Yeah. Well, that would be truly diabolical. I guess feeling they just get lazy and just matter them all over the trees in the house and the windows and whatnot.
Break out the staple gun.
Yeah, wet it in some way, shape, or form.
Oh, by the way, I don't know for a fact, but usually he does run it until the weekend after. Jesse McDaniel's house is still...
Halloween
still has the Halloween
decor.
Which I got to shout out Jesse. He's been all over his places got wrecked, from the storm and everything.
He's been, taking care of everybody else.
Not to mention all his properties. He's been doing an amazing job volunteering and still managed to get that light display up. He's Superman.
Yeah.
Dude's Superman.
Yep, absolutely. So, so I imagine I have no idea because I don't trick or treat or nothing.
Exhausted at this point.
Yeah, I don't trick or treat or nothing, but Do they give out like full-size candy bars over there? I have no idea.
I would imagine. Yeah.
I didn't know. Because in this day and age, I'm like, if you give full-size candy bars out, I'm pretty sure you got to be like a millionaire.
I feel like, and I don't know how you would organize this and how it would work, but I feel like there should be an app that will tell you which houses are giving out
full-size candy bars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how that would work. You'd have to like register and say I'm a full bar house.
Yeah, or you'd have to have a team of like, kid reporters that are like, dude, full-size candy bars, this address.
Yeah, it would have to be like a Yelp almost.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of like spotting the traffic, the speed traps on interstates and all that on the apps. Yeah, was that Waze or whatever one it is? I can't remember.
Waymo or one of those.
Yeah.
But yeah, you'd have like the thing on your windshield. And it'll start beeping when you're in a neighborhood.
Yeah, and then if you want to get more detailed, like the type of candy bar, Snickers, Milky Way, Three Musketeers, M&M's, whatever it is, it's like, it's Kit Kats, nah.
It's like, you know what? I forgot to switch out the full candy bar alarm with the neighborhood where all the pedophiles live alarm. We should probably turn around, turn this van around.
Yep, and there goes that app idea.
Hey, it worked for a minute, all right?
That's right.
Yes, Ayana checking in the chat. Yes, we know you live Halloween. I understand that.
So what's the routine for, because as a parent, I imagine you're going to be involved in some trick-or-treating in some way, shape, or form. What's the plan of attack for your family tonight?
We're not, I don't think we're planning on doing house to house.
Okay.
We may,
just hitting a few,
we may go to Jesse's neighborhood.
Festivals or whatever.
But yeah, we're probably going to hit up the trunk or treats. By the way, I need to clarify something. I messed up earlier in the week. I said that the city Halloween or the city fall festival that was going to be at the convention center was being moved to Pioneer Bank.
Yeah.
I was wrong. It's Pioneer Plaza.
Yes. I think it was this weekend, wasn't it?
No, it's coming.
It is tonight? Okay,
yeah.
I was thinking they did it over the
No,
weekend.
it's tonight. I believe it starts at 5. Don't quote me on that. It's all over social. So you can find those lists. Yeah, Plaza, not bank.
Basically across from the courthouse.
Yeah, right there in downtown.
That statue of Chisholm, that one. That's.
Oh, and pro tip.
Oh, the new rocket. New rocket statues there
True.
too.
Pro tip: there is some benefit to showing up early. You get in there quickly and all that. The problem that we ran into repeatedly this weekend is we were early to all the trunk or treat festivities. People weren't set up all the way yet. So like we went through and hit the people who had, who were open. We were done in like 5 minutes. Cut to about an hour later, 16 or 17 more, trunks were open with treats. But we showed up early. So you got to hit that sweet spot.
Also, did you go back for a round dose?
No, I was a tired parent.
So what's like, is there a candy tax in your house? How does that whole candy distribution work? Do you as parents, either yourself or Carletta, like, do they, how does that work? Or do you have different rules per parent?
It just depends. Rhiannon's very picky on what kind of candy she likes.
So she probably has a lot of stuff that.
Most of the time, hers is just a numbers game.
Okay.
So in my house, you're safer stealing from Rhiannon's bucket than you are from Hunter's.
As long as you don't take her faves.
Right.
Gotcha.
She's a fan of like M&M's, Skittles, and like regular chocolate bars.
Okay.
Hunter, on the other hand, I'm pretty sure he's got a running tally. Like, I'm pretty sure he has it all jotted down in like a spreadsheet somewhere.
He's got it organized by color, shape, flavor, company produced, probably vintage.
What's really funny is I'll go to take something out of Rhiannon's bucket, and she goes, "You can have that, Dad." I'm like, "I know. I know I can. I'm gonna, too."
So Skittles, so chocolate.
I'll tell you this.
Is there certain chocolate bars because there's certain chocolate bars that usually are polarizing for kids. Usually Mounds and Almond Joy are ones that they either love or disgust by.
Right.
Butterfinger's another one that it's either they love or disgust.
I'm a fan of Almond Joy. Hunter's pretty much a fan of any kind of candy.
Okay.
Generally speaking, I benefit from having weird tastes because
Because you ate various meats out of cans growing up.
Sure. But invariably, there's always going to be a healthy amount of Tootsie Rolls in either one of their buckets. And no kid likes Tootsie Rolls.
They're not even my favorite.
I love Tootsie Rolls. Those are my favorites. As far as like Halloween candy goes.
I put Tootsie Rolls even below candy corn, to be honest. I prefer candy corn to Tootsie Rolls.
And somebody, because I mentioned this recently, I was telling a friend that if you combine, it's weird.
Yeah.
But if you combine, what was it? Orange juice and, I can't remember what liquor. Oh, Kahlua.
Okay.
Kahlua and orange juice weirdly tastes just like a Tootsie Roll. And I was trying to show this to a friend, and they're like, yeah, but who likes Tootsie Rolls?
Yeah. They're like, if you put these here, it tastes just like
a Necco wafer.
Yeah.
That's where we're weird parents, because I like Tootsie Rolls. Kid's mom loves Necco wafers. Of all the candy to love, she loves Necco wafers.
Well, shoot.
The only candy that still comes in clove flavor.
Like, can you buy those anywhere?
Yeah. They're usually at the bottom shelf. Usually at the Dollar General
store. Okay, the dollars.
Next to the Chico Sticks.
Yeah. Because they literally taste like Tomes.
Yeah. Most of us have upgraded to just eating Tums, but always in a dusty package.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Because they probably stopped making them 30 years ago.
Yeah.
They probably still have a warehouse full of them.
And the other thing is, I don't know if they sell these year round, but I only ever see them at Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
I wish Tootsie Roll would sell more of the fruit flavored Tootsie Rolls that they put out. Those are better than Starbursts.
See, this is weird. Tootsie Roll?
Yeah.
Man. Tootsie Pop? A 10.
Really?
I love Tootsie Pops, not so much on Tootsie Rolls.
But what do you do when you get to the Tootsie Roll center?
I eat it. But
you enjoy it?
Yes. Because it tastes better in the crunchy cherry or grape or whatever flavored
maybe
lollipop it comes around.
Now now we're getting into literal psychology here. How long do you wait before you bite into a sucker?
I try to wait. I try to get it down as close to brown as possible.
That being said, and I have known you for 20 years. I have never seen you with a sucker in your mouth.
It's very rare.
I've never seen you go totally, and you really could pull totally some balls
now
off
I got
now.
the full bald, so yeah, I could go, who loves you, baby? And
yep.
I don't do it often, but every once in a while, to be honest, it's got to be a thing of opportunity. Like if you put a bowl of these things in the office all the time, I'd probably be having one. If I don't go out and buy them, but if they're sitting somewhere. Like when you get dum-dums at like the bank or something, I usually will grab one and eat the little dum-dum, kind of thing. But that's an opportunity product for me.
Oh, by the way,
I don't go buy them, but if there's a bowl of them sitting here, I will grab one.
Oh, I'll take a penny if there is one.
Yeah.
The mystery flavor dum-dum, that's a lie. It's always something different. What they do is when they're changing flavors, they run a batch of the two flavors
amalgamation
kind of
of whatever was in the batches.
Yep.
Yeah. Kind of like, I'm pretty sure those Coke flavors,
yeah,
Starlight
exactly.
or whatever they call it.
But people are like, I think I have the mystery flavor of the Dum Dum nailed down. No, you don't.
Yeah.
No, you don't.
And to be honest, in the Coke world of soda flavors, I think we've reached the pinnacle. Like I think we're just done. We just need to stop trying to create amalgamation.
And I'm going to bring this up.
None of them are any better.
I'm going to bring this up knowing that Roy probably watched the same video that I did over the weekend. I watched a video about the seven specific kinds of American soda and how we're narrowed down to our flavors, but how they're so wildly different elsewhere.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
You don't get apple or peach soda until you go to other countries. But like us, it's cola, lemon lime, root beer, orange, grape, and that's pretty much our solid 7. Those are the ones you're going to find at every soda fountain, essentially.
And then you get exactly. And then you can go wild because it's America. We put everything on anything.
And then now this is something that's kind of interesting. If you have you watched any of that Secret Lives of Mormon Wives show?
That I've not seen.
Okay, I think it's on Netflix.
Okay.
It brings to light something that is huge in the Mormon community, but not really a thing anywhere else. Soda shops, like coffee shops.
Okay.
They have a huge,
like the old school soda jerk shop?
It's a huge deal, yeah, in like the Mormon community that they go to. That's like their bars. To be
honest, that's a perk.
Kind of.
I kind of like wish we had those.
Right?
Still,
like a soda fountain. I think I would love to just go hang out at the corner soda fountain.
Or a root beer float or a Coca-Cola.
Okay, I'm just going to say it. Make America malt again.
Yeah.
Mama.
But then again, I'm kind of like, I would love the 50 style diner where it's legit the bar and you can get a burger and there's always the pie under the under the glass. You know what I mean?
That's kinda... the rotating pies.
Yeah, kind of.
But yeah,
I'm a fan of that.
It's a huge thing in Mormon communities. They all go and gather at the soda, like it's like their Starbucks basically.
Like it seems like every show or TV now that takes place in a small town has one of those places.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like any, because now you go on any of all the different, any show now that takes place in a small town, small town show, a la Resident Alien. That's an example.
Okay.
They always center or they meet in a place that's like that. Some place where they got pie, cake. It's a diner.
Ours,
you know what I mean?
I grew up in a town called Medill, Oklahoma, and we had a place called the Sportsman. That was our local diner. Same thing. They had the pie and the rotating, the bar, long bar at the front. That was basically the gathering place for Medillites.
Yes. I really don't have time. Dang it. We touched a subject the other day. Yesterday, I was talking about the sports movies and the greatest comedic sports movies, and I still stand on my cross with Major League is the best. But I did get some good suggestions. Now I don't have them all, but Cool Runnings was one of them. Cool. I remember.
Yeah.
Bull Durham was another one. I like those answers as yes, I love those movies. They're great movies. Yes, Bull Durham. I love those movies, but here's the thing. Cool Runnings is an inspirational story.
I was going to say Cool Runnings doesn't take itself seriously enough as a sports movie.
Yeah.
Major League is a sports movie with comedy.
Well, I just think and Cool Runnings it's like it's a warm fuzzy comedy.
It's family comedy.
Yeah, and it's not straight, Like at the end of that I feel good. Whereas Major League I just laughed. You know what I mean? I don't feel a certain kind of way.
It didn't make me feel feelings.
And Bull Durham is a love triangle in a baseball movie in a setting, which it's a great movie. Love the movie, but is it a true comedy? No, I think it's a love triangle dramedy in a baseball setting.
So you're saying that Bull Durham is a sports movie the same way Pearl Harbor is a war movie?
Yes and no, because it gets, but the only difference is it gets into the real inner nuttiness of baseball. So that I give it I would say it's a true sports movie.
Right.
I wouldn't label it necessarily as a sports comedic movie, though it has comedic elements. I think it's more of a romantic comedy in the sports. It's not true comedy. My opinion.
Through the right lens, any sports movie could be a sports comedy.
Sure, absolutely.
Rudy, for example.
Well, Rudy is not a sports comedy.
It could be. Through the right lens, it could be.
That's like it's like one of 3 official movies men are allowed to cry at, I think, for some rule. I don't remember the man code, but it's something like that.
But through the right lens, it could be a comedy.
Yeah. All right. Probably should get the hour going now that I see what we're saying. Unfortunately, my guest wasn't able to make it today because he's busy doing what he does. We were scheduled to have Chef Anthony Noble join us from the Valley Cafe this morning. However, due to work at the cafe, he's unable to join us here. But I can assure you this, if you're hungry, swing on by there. Lunch, dinner, breakfast, they got you covered. They are also on the DoorDash and all of that. Come on by. They're located right across from Church on the Move on Brasher there. And go check it out. It don't matter. You get a breakfast burrito, it's on point. You get a burger, something, it's on point. You just get a snack. Or if you want a full-on like dinner, like chicken Alfredo kind of green chili, it's all good. It's delicious. So unfortunately, Chef can't make it, so we won't get to hear his latest creations and what he's brewing up there in the kitchen there. So we'll have to get back to him on that one. So what we're going to do is Coach Hayden Hill joined us to talk about Goddard's Veterans Day, and I've played it once here. We're gonna drop it in here one more time for folks here just to put it on everyone's radar. I would love to get as many folks packing the Goddard Gym here on November 7th here with that. So we're going to play that interview for you here in just a bit. But before we do that, let's take a look at your weather. A cooler, gentler weather. Maybe. Less wind, at least.
Oh, yeah.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Low 70s for the high today. Should be pretty nice. We have high pressure parked over the Four Corners, and that'll be covering our area for a while. Overnight looks clear, low to mid 40s, and then we warm up a little bit on Friday with mid to upper 70s, and will be sunny. Low pressure moving in from the southwest on Saturday, and that could give us a few showers. Sunny and low 70s on Sunday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 48 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 39%. Winds are out of the southwest at 5 miles per hour. Sunny and 70 for a high today. Winds will be out of the south, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Skies will be clear tonight with an overnight low of 41 degrees. Southeast winds, at 5 miles per hour. For you Friday, a little bit warmer during the day tomorrow, mostly sunny and a high of 74. Winds will be out of the southeast, 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then we are looking at pretty high percentages of rain chances here for Friday night and into Saturday. Friday night, we are looking at an 80% chance of showers and thunderstorms, and they're talking before midnight, and this could carry over after midnight as well. Expect an overnight low of 58 degrees with south winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. For Saturday, we're looking at a 60% chance at showers and thunderstorms. And looks like our chances are pretty much all day. They said morning and afternoon. Partly cloudy for the rest of it with a high of 76, south winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. No talk of rain Saturday night, just mostly clear skies with an overnight low of 48 degrees. Sunny on Sunday with a high of 73. But Sunday night, they have tacked on a 30% chance at some showers, mostly cloudy with an overnight low of 46. So some weather might be rolling through the region there. And then next week, it looks like we're going to settle into kind of mid-60s for the week. 64 on Monday, 65 on Tuesday, 67 on Wednesday, all under sunny skies there. So full-on fall-like feeling next week looks like here. All right, it is 9:27. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we're going to play our interview with Hayden Hill talking about Goddard High's Veterans Assembly on November 7th. And that's up next. Don't go away. We'll be back.
Over a week ago, heavy rainfall led to devastating flooding in Chavez County, leaving hundreds of homes uninhabitable in Roswell, Dexter, Hagerman, and Midway. As the community starts the recovery process, the American Red Cross is here to help. Disaster relief assistance sessions will be held in Roswell and Dexter to identify individual and family needs. In Roswell at 1210 North Main, across from the Fairfield Inn, Friday, November 1st and Saturday, November 2nd between 9 and 6, and in Dexter on Sunday and Monday, November 3rd and 4th at the Dexter Public Library, 115 East 2nd Street. This message brought to you by the American Red Cross.
How do you find a roofing contractor you can trust? You can randomly pick one, cross your fingers and hope for the best, or maybe you can ask a psychic to predict who's trustworthy. Here's a better idea. Choose one who prefers using America's most trusted roofing brand, Owens Corning. And rest easy, because Owens Corning screens their contractors for reliability, professionalism, and customer service. Why take any chances? Owens Corning, trusted contractors, proven products. For an Owens Corning preferred contractor, visit owenscorning.com/roofing.
For a free estimate, give Do Right Roofing a call today, 575-623-2273.
Find them fast in names and numbers. So your pecans aren't as big and bountiful as they used to be? Well, what would Jim Gill do?
Hi, this is Ben from Roswell Seed Company. Few people knew as much about pecans as Jim Gill. And if he were here today, he'd tell you it was time to fertilize. He'd tell you just what you need and show you how to use it. Then he'd make some joke about your neighbors making fun of your nuts.
So when there's trouble with your pecans, head for Roswell Seed Company and ask them, what would Jim Gill do?
Like so many in our area, Carabelli Dental in Roswell suffered devastating damage as a result of the recent flooding. Doctors Keon Agar and Sarah Usher and the entire Carabelli Dental family would like to say a heartfelt thank you to the Roswell community, first responders, volunteers, and all who understand that the time to stand up and rebuild begins now. Rest assured that the Carabelli team is hard at work to reopen their doors and get back to making Roswell smile again. Carabelli Dental, proud to be Roswell Strong.
Your window of opportunity is here.
Now is your time to sign up for quality, affordable health insurance through Be Well, New Mexico's health insurance marketplace. Be Well will connect you to a low-cost plan from providers you trust to cover medical appointments, prescriptions, dental care, and more. Do more of what you love with affordable health insurance. Join Be Well at our enrollment event on Saturday, November 9th at the Be Well office from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. to sign up for coverage and open your window of opportunity.
The average American spends 2.5 days a year looking for lost items. We aren't sure how long Europeans and Asians look for lost stuff. We lost the list. Here's Mike Winters.
And welcome back to the morning show. And joining us in studio this morning, Coach Hayden Hill's back in. Good morning, Coach. How you doing today?
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Well, it's kind of become tradition now. When Hayden Hill comes on the radio, that must mean it's Veterans Day is right around the corner here. And yep, we're once again here. We are. And one thing I love is the Roswell Independent School District. Every school, goes all out, and they really from our elementary schools, showing the kids at early ages up through high school.
Yes, sir.
They do include Veterans Day as part of their program, part of what they do, their curriculum. And so I love that, to see that. Yes. And so we want to invite everyone to as many of those as you can go to.
Yes, sir.
Check with your schools if you got kids or grandkids at their schools. My odds are pretty good. They've got a veterans assembly going on at their school. Please make all efforts possible to attend those if you can.
Yes.
But we would like to invite the public out to Goddard's as well, and to all the others too.
Yes.
But of course, Hayden, how many years now have you been doing the Goddard Veterans
This
program?
is our 16th year.
16th year. And have you been involved in all 16?
Yes, sir.
I'm about to say, because I put it this way. I don't. There's a lot of people that I mention your name. It's like, oh, he was my history teacher. Or he was my basketball coach. So there's a lot of people that know you with various hats, obviously.
Yes.
But Veterans Day is one of the ones you've adopted over the last 16 years.
Yes,
here.
sir.
And I always say this, is Goddard, every year they turn into a rock concert, is what they really do. You guys do an amazing job of showing the importance of why we celebrate Veterans Day and why our veterans are important in our society.
Yeah.
But to just make the veterans feel that love too.
Yes.
Where and you know as well as I do, veterans by and large aren't always the most. They're not spotlight people.
Yes.
By and large, I mean, of course, there's everybody's got somebody, but by and large, veterans are more under the radar.
Yes,
people.
sir.
And so they tend to not always want to come and be celebrated.
Yes.
I hope you would put that aside and come check out what Goddard's got going on this year, because you guys do an amazing job every year. So.
Well, we appreciate it. We do it for two reasons. One, we want to honor the veterans. Some of them have never been thanked. And we have a lot of them that say that they didn't want to come, and once they came, they were glad they came. And the second thing, to show that young people do respect the flag. They respect our veterans. They stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. So it's kind of a two-way street that we try and accomplish.
Absolutely. And by and large, too, some of those folks that are in the audience, we're going to need them to step into those roles, too, at some point.
Yes, sir.
Some of those young men and women that are in that gym on November 7th here, they're going to be putting on that uniform too and doing their duty for our country. So we hope we inspire that generation too to do that. So,
yes, sir.
Absolutely. So let's talk nuts and bolts. What's up your sleeve for this year's Veterans Assembly? What events? What kind of things you got going on?
Okay, it'll start about 1:00 for the veterans and their families. Any member of the family or friends, they'll come to Goddard a little bit before 1:00. We'll have the fire department out there with the flag. We'll have the honor guard. We'll have music and everything, and then they'll be escorted into the little theater where we'll have snacks and a get-together.
Little reception. A pre-party.
Yeah, pre-party. And then about 1:20, the music will be coming, and the military will start off and turn and salute as they come in, and you'll have a little over 1,000 kids cheering them on.
Yep.
And then
and you're underestimating that. I mean, you say that it literally is. That's the rock concert part. I tell you, it's literally like the Kansas City Chiefs walk out onto the field.
Yeah, it really
for the
is.
Super Bowl.
And one thing I'd like to say here, you'd be shocked at the number of people that work months and months to really try and make this special. And then ours is a little bit different from a lot of others in that we don't have speeches. It's all kind of pomp and ceremony, and we have videos come down from the screen and
more pep rally like.
Yeah. And this year again, for the second year in a row, we're going to have a World War II veteran that flew missions over the Battle of the Bulge.
We're blessed to have them. Quite frankly, folks. There's going to be a year where they're not going to have them because there's not going to be any left. So while we got them, we want to celebrate them as much as possible. So, that's great that we're still, and it's, and I hope the kids that are there I hope they take that in and understand you're seeing someone that, like, quite frankly, you're getting an opportunity that many people aren't going to get a chance to get here very soon.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And that's a cool thing. So I'm so glad that we do have a World War II veteran that. And we'll put a special spotlight on that person on the event here.
Without a doubt, the one we had last year, he came to our assembly, and when it was over, he said one of the best things he ever did. He turned 100 years old the next month, and then shortly after that died. And so we're going to do something special, kind of a Paul Harvey, the rest of the story for him.
Oh, great!
And then one thing we're going to do this year, because we want to honor everybody, and we do, but we want to also put a little emphasis today on the young people that were in Iraq and Afghanistan and the war against
our
terror.
Newest veterans.
Our newest veterans.
Yeah.
We're going to do something special for them.
Yeah, and this is something too and this is where we need and where we use Veterans Day as a platform too is that reminder to those veterans and the mental health. We're obviously all of us, we want to check on each other's mental health, but the veterans world, it's a little bit of a higher, more risk situation.
Yes, sir.
And so it is a reminder. And to be honest, that's the generation of veterans that we're focusing most on right now, because they're the ones that are dealing with the bigger issues coming from Iraq, Afghanistan, wherever they've served, and trust me, other war times veterans know you see and deal with things, and no matter how much other people want to understand, if you haven't been there, it's really hard to understand. No matter how much you want to, it really just is hard to do.
Yes.
So it's great to see that we're focusing on our younger vets, and we're even seeing that like nationally through our like American Legions and VFWs, where you're starting to see they are trying to shift gears and saying, hey, this isn't for the 60, 70-year-old curmudgeons on the bar stool anymore. This is for our 20 and 30-something veteran-year-old veterans we have now. So, and so it is a focus that not all veterans look like me. Some of them look like you and younger folks here too nowadays, and we got to remember that.
Yeah. And we thank you for your service. Through the years, with whether you've been out in public in Roswell or the radio station, you not only served in the military, but you've continued to serve for our community.
Well,
thank you.
I try to. This is pot calling kettle black, because you have that server's heart too, and just your work alone on this, but outside of this, just your coaching career, your teaching career, you've impacted a lot of lives yourself.
Well, thank you very much.
And so it's awesome that we see that you do this, and it's great. And to be honest, I think you got a point where it's you have the young people now, and they know you as the Veterans Day guy. You get so it's great to see that we're getting new generations, and you're influencing that as well. But we do want to make sure we would love to honor veterans. Please come if you don't feel comfortable coming out to Veterans Assembly. I get it, but please try the Goddard one. Come on out here now. I don't think we've given actually pretty detail. The actual assembly day will be on November 7th. It'll be at Goddard High School.
Yes.
Like I said, we'll have the pre-party there from about 1 to 1:25. That's where we'll have light refreshments and music and all that. And then around 1:25 or so, you'll kind of get ushered into the gym, and that's when the big party starts. Yeah. And obviously free. Just come bring yourself, bring your family.
Yes.
Love to have you come, and we want to pack ground zero there from floor to rafter with folks. Honoring and it's a celebration. That's what it is. It's we say Veterans Day. It's to celebrate and honor our veterans. Well, that's exactly what they're doing in there.
Yes.
It's not focusing on the hard part of being a veteran. It's focusing on you're a veteran, you're amazing, and we're in a great place because you did what you did. Thank you. That's what it's all about.
Exactly. And one thing I like to throw in also is the Veterans Day Parade is coming up, and we as a community. We pack the place on 4th of July and the Fair Day and stuff. And a lot of veterans that won't go to a school will be walking in that parade. And it would be really cool for our community if we could literally pack those talk to your kids about it before, and let's get everybody there. And when that flag comes by, we stand. And honor them. It's not real long, but it'd be very important if we could fill that road for the parade.
Yep, it is something that and I know you folks, we hear it a lot, we say it a lot, but it really, really is true. It's everything that you love about this country and the freedoms we enjoy. Is this country perfect? Oh, absolutely not. But there's not many places on the planet that you can enjoy and do the things and live the life you live. And trust me, as a veteran, as a person that's seen life in other parts of the world, you do not realize how good you have it and what you take for granted. Even in places that you think are like us, your Englands, your Australias, they're not exactly the same. Yeah. They're not quite the same. And your rights, your freedoms, what you can do aren't exactly the same. And you don't realize it until it comes under attack. And so that's the only reason you get to do it. And all the things we get to enjoy, it's because a veteran said that they're willing to do what they're willing to do. And that's the only way we preserve that. We're human beings, and to preserve freedom, you've got to be strong enough to keep it. And that's what those veterans do. They ensure we get to keep it. And so that's why we do that.
We start off our Veterans Assembly, by the way, saying, look before you. Every one of those veterans were willing to die for you.
Yeah. And this is the thing, too. Regardless of when you served or where you served or what you served, I don't care if you were sitting in a foxhole, sitting in a fighter jet, or sitting in a kitchen in a tent somewhere. It doesn't matter. All those roles are vital to the mission. And every person that signed that name and their contract, giving their life to Uncle Sam to 4 to 6 or however many years you were in it, it's different. You don't, because your whole life is given up for that. You're no longer protected by the Constitution. You've basically given up your constitutional rights to say, I'm going to protect this country. Because if you do get in trouble or you do something, guess what? You're under UCMJ. The rules don't apply to you. And there are things in the UCMJ that you are constitutionally protected against, things like double jeopardy, stuff like that. Military people are subject to that stuff that civilians aren't. And so that's just other things that you don't realize, that by signing your name on that dotted line, that's what you're giving up. So that's why we celebrate veterans. We celebrate all veterans, ones that got the medals full of Purple Hearts and all that stuff, to the ones that fortunately their jobs didn't require them to have to do it, but by golly, they were sitting in the middle of somewhere working on an air conditioner or making sure hot meals are served to all the troops there. That's just as big a role. And trust me, every person sitting in a foxhole and flying in a jet, they appreciate those people that cook good food and make sure their accommodations are decent and all that.
Yes.
So all roles are valuable as a veteran. I know I got way talking too much. I do that.
No, you were great. You were great.
I'm just curious though. What is it that drives you? What's for 16 years and to have your passion to make sure that this goes off the way it does. What's your driving factor?
Well, I never. My dad died before I ever knew him, and people that I was around, a lot of them were military people,
Gotcha.
patriotic people, and it just impacted my life. And I still see people, like you, on a daily basis. I didn't serve, but this was maybe a way for me and all the people at Goddard to maybe do our small part.
Sure. Well, it is. It's greatly appreciated, and it's so great that you do this and inspire others. And to be honest, by doing this, you're actually inspiring the next generations of veterans and things like that. These kids that we're seeing in classrooms, and some of them are going to be sent off to places and things down the road, and because they're willing to do that, it's people like you that gave them the inspiration to want to protect and want to be a part of this. So we appreciate that.
One thing I like to say is I get a lot of credit for this, and
there is a lot of moving parts.
And the truth is that it's unbelievable how many people that make this there is no way I could do it. So it's a lot of people that believe in our country that want to be a part of it.
But it's also got to a point too where it's now tradition.
Yes.
So now everyone's almost like, all right, Hayden, what are we doing again? It's the phone calls start up and go.
Yes,
so and that's a beloved thing to see, and quite frankly, I hope it continues long after you said, you know what, I'm going to pass that baton to someone else.
Yes, sir.
At some point. So, but folks, come on out again. November 7th is Goddard High School's Veterans Assembly. Please take note. Roswell High will be having one right around the same time, and pretty much all the middle and elementary schools will be as well. Talk with your grandparents or grandkids and kids and nieces and nephews and see, try to line up and be a part of that and all as well. But come make a point to make a time to come out to Goddard's Veteran Assembly again, November 7th. 1 p.m. is when the reception starts. The assembly starts at 1:30. Usually you're done, about 2:30 or so?
Yeah, around 2:40 you'll be this year.
So you'll be out early afternoon, and then you can go on to what the rest of the day brings you here. But love to have you come out, and trust me, you're going to come in and you're going to come out and you're like, wow, that was bigger. And I'm hyped it, but it's not enough. It really you don't do you justice till you walk in and see it. So please be a part. And Hayden, as always, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And we anything else we can help you with, let me know, and we'll be happy to.
Thank you very much.
With your Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Cirillo. Roswell police are looking for a couple of missing persons. 77-year-old James Smith was reported missing by his nephew October 24th. The nephew reported he and other family members have not been able to contact Smith since October 13th. Smith lives at 1710 North Union Avenue in Roswell. He has not been there, and his vehicle, a gray Toyota 4Runner with an Arizona tag, has also not been found. And RPD is also searching for Samantha Broylette, who is 43. Broylette was allegedly battered by her boyfriend, Manuel Lemos, and left along the side of a road at an unknown location the night of October 26th. Broylette has not been seen since. Lemos has since been booked into jail and charged with battery. Flood recovery efforts are well underway at the Roswell Museum, which was devastated by the recent flooding. Assessment of the 51,000-square-foot facility is ongoing, which includes the 12 galleries, the planetarium, classrooms, the auditorium, and the ceramics studio. The museum says the recovery will take years. Floodwaters reached 5 feet in parts of the museum. Volunteers arrived Monday morning to begin removing debris and mud from outside the building, allowing for safer entry. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
Radio, here's the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
I can tell you this, if you go back to where we were 4 years ago, in terms of the Real Clear Politics average, national average, Joe Biden was up 7.5%. Today, Donald Trump is up 0.4%. That is a 7.9% swing. Biden was up 3.2% in the battlegrounds. That number was been going down. And Donald Trump is now up 1.0. That is a swing of 4.2 percentage points, which is massive in the political world. Does that manifest itself into voting? No. Anecdotally, I can make a case both ways. 2022 is supposed to be a red wave year. That never materialized. If you don't want another disappointment or an expectation not met, then you have to do your part.
Check out the Sean Hannity radio show later today, right here.
Hey everyone, the 2024 election is on our doorstep and Kamala Harris and Tim Walz are knocking on your door. They're pushing for higher taxes and even taxes on unrealized gains. Could you imagine that? Paying taxes on something you never took profits on? What would that do to the economy? Will they come for your retirement savings? Will they come for your house? Who knows? But don't wait to find out. Learn how you could protect and diversify everything you've worked for with the top-rated precious metals company, Goldco. Goldco has over 6,000 five-star reviews, a bunch of awards, and has helped people just like you purchase over $2.5 billion in gold and silver. Call 855-815-GOLD to get your free 2024 gold and silver kit, plus up to a 10% instant match on bonus silver for qualified accounts. Learn how precious metals like gold and silver could help you. Call 855-815-GOLD. That's 855-815-GOLD.
Paid for by Goldco.
With the Cowboys Report, I'm Christy Scales. Head coach Mike McCarthy responds to a star player taking exception to a social media post by a local reporter right after this.
Becky Hammond on Inspiration.
I hope it's an inspiration to girls out there, being the first woman to coach an NBA team. But I've always been more inspired by the future, not by what I've done, but by what's coming next.
What do you want to do next? Whether it's buying a home, growing your wealth, or protecting your assets, SWBC is here to support your next steps toward financial success with personalized service and expert advice.
Visit SWBC.com to take the next step toward your financial future.
Cowboys Nation is big because everything's bigger in Texas. And Reliant has the energy to power it all. From home field advantage to home sweet home, Reliant has Dallas Cowboys fans all across the Lone Star State covered for every electric moment this season and beyond. Reliant, proud to be the official energy provider of your Dallas Cowboys.
Reliant, PUCT number 10007.
Following Sunday's frustrating loss at the 49ers, Cowboys cornerback Trayvon Diggs took exception to a social media posting by a television sportscaster at the DFW ABC affiliate who questioned Diggs' effort in chasing down a 49er pass catcher. Diggs confronted the reporter outside the locker room immediately after the game and caused a further social media stir. Head coach Mike McCarthy reacted to the situation.
We have to be better in those moments. I always talk about staying on the high road. It's part of our responsibility. I am not ignorant or naive to the fact that, this generation, it's part of the world they live in. That's part of being a professional athlete, and that's part of representing this organization properly.
Diggs and teammates have today off, but McCarthy and his staff are putting together the game plan for this weekend's road trip to Atlanta. With your Cowboys Report, I'm Christy Scales.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Low 70s for the high today. Should be pretty nice. We have high pressure parked over the Four Corners, and that'll be covering our area for a while. Overnight looks clear, low to mid 40s, and then we warm up a little bit on Friday with mid to upper 70s, and will be sunny. Low pressure moving in from the southwest on Saturday, and that could give us a few showers. Sunny and low 70s on Sunday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. The U.S. economy grew solidly in the third quarter, with consumer spending increasing at its fastest pace in a year and a half, and inflation slowing sharply, continuing to defy forecasts of a recession and outperforming its global peers ahead of the November 5th presidential election. A union representing about 33,000 striking Boeing workers has met with Boeing for the first time since members voted down an improved contract offer from the plane maker last week. The International Association of Machinists and Aerospace Workers Local 751 said with the assistance of acting U.S. Labor Secretary Julie Su, the union's bargaining committee had a productive face-to-face meeting with the company to address key bargaining issues. Volkswagen wants its workforce to take pay cuts of 10%. The announcement comes after a request from unions to hike salaries by 7% and reinstate collective agreements. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
Help benefit the Wounded Warrior Project with H.F. Sinclair Saturday, November 9th at the Veterans Mission 5K Fun Run, Walk, and Ride. This 5K Fun Run will begin and end at Beige Veterans Park in Artesia, and the course will take you around Eagle Draw, walk or run. Kids 6 and under can join on their bikes. Pre-registration is $25 for adults and teens, kids $10, and your 4-legged companion only $5, with all proceeds to benefit wounded warriors. For more information or to sign up, visit hfsnm.com/veterans-mission-5K.
Hi, Chef Anthony Noble here with the Valley Cafe at 801 West Brasher. We love serving you our delicious meals for lunch and dinner. The next time you're in on Monday or Tuesday, bring the family and take advantage of our kids' dinner special. With the purchase of an adult meal, you get the kids' meal for 20% off. That's right. Get the kids fed, save a little money, enjoy what I got cooking in the kitchen. Come visit us at 801 West Brasher in the Orange Building across from Church on the Move in Roswell. We have it all. Come taste and see.
Don't forget, you can also find the Valley Cafe on our website at toasttab.com/Valley Cafe. Also on DoorDash, Grubhub, and Uber Eats.
Attention, Roswell and surrounding areas. Roswell Ford knows recovering from an unexpected natural disaster is stressful, and our hearts go out to everyone who experienced loss due to the flooding. The damage left behind is devastating, but we're already seeing what it means to be Roswell strong, and we acknowledge and appreciate the heroic efforts of local authorities, first responders, and National Guard rescue teams. We've already received and continue to receive special shipments of new Fords and quality pre-owned vehicles available for immediate delivery during our massive Super Tent Sale. It's at our temporary location on West 2nd Street between Toyota and Allsup's. These new and pre-owned vehicles without flood damage are being offered to the public at unprecedented savings. We've instructed our staff to take any car in any condition. In fact, even if it doesn't run, we'll come get it and give you a generous allowance toward a new Ford or high-quality pre-owned vehicle. And we'll work with your insurance company to help you get what you deserve at Roswell Ford's temporary location on West 2nd Street between Toyota and Allsup's. Thank you.
Late in the Apostle Paul's life, he wrote the following: "I've fought the good fight, I've finished the race, I've kept the faith. Now there is in store for me the crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, will award to me on that day. And not only to me, but to all who have longed for his appearing." That is the definition of dying well. Paul had not always been a follower of Christ, but once he changed his life from persecutor to that of a man who followed Jesus to being fully dedicated, he was all in. He knew that he was forgiven, and he knew that he had lived a life of service to his Lord. He wasn't perfect, but he knew that Jesus was, and that Christ's saving grace was more than enough. You too can have that same confidence to die well. You can never earn it, but Jesus wants you to have his free gift of forgiveness. He wants all of us to be with him in heaven.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
Coming to the Liberty on Saturday, November 2nd. Don't miss an evening with Caitlin Butts.
Like the Marfa lights.
With special guest, Nancy Haygood.
Are you ever really ready for love?
Doors open at 6 and the show starts at 8. Tickets are available at thelibertyinc.com. Get yours before they're gone. Don't miss an evening with Caitlin Butts. Saturday, November 2nd, 6 p.m. at the Liberty, 312 North Virginia in Roswell. Over a week ago, heavy rainfall led to devastating flooding in Chavez County, leaving hundreds of homes uninhabitable in Roswell, Dexter, Hagerman, and Midway. As the community starts the recovery process, the American Red Cross is here to help. Disaster relief assistance sessions will be held in Roswell and Dexter to identify individual and family needs. In Roswell at 1210 North Main, across from the Fairfield Inn, Friday, November 1st and Saturday, November 2nd between 9 and 6. And in Dexter on Sunday and Monday, November 3rd and 4th at the Dexter Public Library, 115 East 2nd Street. This message brought to you by the American Red Cross.
The average American spends 2.5 days a year looking for lost items. We aren't sure how long Europeans and Asians look for lost stuff. We lost the list. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is closing in on 9:59. Of course, if you missed any part of our show, I invite you to check it out at your leisure, ksvptv.com. Click on the Mornings with Mike Winters channel. You'll find all of our interviews there as well. Don't forget about that Red Cross. You just heard the PSA a second ago. Here in Roswell on at 1210 North Main.
Tomorrow and Saturday.
Tomorrow and Saturday from 9 to 6. And then in Dexter at the Dexter Library Sunday and Monday, November 3rd and 4th from 9 to 5. And then, of course, one other thing, don't forget Grace Community Church tomorrow, 4 p.m.
Yep.
They're having a big inviting all nonprofits, the FEMA, the whole nine, coming in for an organizational meeting, looking for resources, offering resources, all the above. Invited and encouraged to be at that meeting.
Yes, sir.
4 p.m. tomorrow, Grace Community Church.
Happy Halloween, everybody.
Yep. Have a good day. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM KND Roswell.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. Pennsylvania is the biggest prize among the 7 critical swing states in the 2024 race. White House correspondent Greg Clugston is there as he tours the Blue Wall states.
Kamala Harris and Donald Trump have visited Pennsylvania far more often than other battlegrounds. The campaigns know the importance of this state, and so does this voter I spoke with.
I say as goes Pennsylvania, so goes the country. It's going to be Pennsylvania, I think, is the real linchpin.
It's Trump country here in Bedford County, but statewide it's neck and neck between the former president and the vice president as they race to secure Pennsylvania's 19 electoral votes. On the Blue Wall States Tour, Greg Clugston, Bedford, Pennsylvania.
Also at townhall.com, Lisa Dwyer reports that North Korea has test launched a suspected long-range missile designed to strike the U.S. and South Korea.
South Korea's Joint Chiefs of Staff says it detected a ballistic missile launch from North Korea's capital region. The weapon was launched on a high angle and is suspected of being a long-range ballistic missile. The launch was North Korea's first known ballistic test since September 18th, when Kim Jong-un supervised tests of a new type of ballistic missile and a strategic cruise missile apparently built to deliver nuclear warheads. The launch also comes amid concerns that North Korea has dispatched troops to Russia, which is fighting a war against Ukraine. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
In Los Angeles, Dodger fans honking their horns and celebrating after their team wins the World Series and gave 5 against the New York Yankees. The final 7-6. Some fans did get out of control, setting one bus on fire, breaking into stores and setting off firecrackers. Stocks are sharply lower, the Dow dropping 347 points. More at townhall.com.
Folks, Donald Trump Jr. here. Let me ask you this. Does inflation feel worse than we're being told in the news? That's because the official inflation rate doesn't tell the whole story. Since January of 2021, the cost of living has increased by 17.9%. You can't get that money back. But what you can do is stop your losses today. How? By diversifying your savings into a gold IRA from my friends at the Birch Gold Group. When you're done, your money will be parked in a tangible asset with proven history. To see how it works, get your free info kit on gold IRAs by texting
his wife yesterday. I haven't got an update today yet, so we'll do that next. You, Roy, ready on your end, Roy? They're on. They're on. We have mics on. Mics are on.
Test.
Yep.
That one's working.
That one's working. And so's that one. Yep. All right. You let me know when you're ready, Roy. Hopefully we don't get too much rain Friday night.
Yeah, I know.
I was like 80%. Damn.
I hope this doesn't like that last one.
Oh, yeah. I'm hoping that it's like 80%. It rains for like 10 minutes, and then that's it. You know what I mean? Just one of those. It'll be, of course, if it's lightning, that's going to put a wrinkle in things too. Yeah. Okay. All right. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. We're going to start up here, Roy. Oh. All right. Here is our halftime interview with Britt Cooper in 3, 2, 1. And welcome back to halftime here as, we're going to say it, the biggest game in Roswell, certainly all of Chaves County, maybe southeast New Mexico tonight here. Halftime here at the Roswell Goddard matchup. And as is always our tradition here, this week we're back with Britt Cooper, AD for the Roswell Independent School District. Welcome back, Britt. How things going? I know it's busy. You're still probably dealing with a little flood stuff, but playoff time. Just overall, how's life from the athletic side of things?
It's been busy, but it's been good. We're middle of the soccer playoffs. Roswell, unfortunately, their boys lost to Volcano Vista the other night 2-1 in the first round, so they're out. But the Goddard girls, they advanced. They beat Miamira 2-0, so they will be playing Saturday at Los Alamos at 11 a.m.
Very good.
So we're proud of them. But, Roswell had a great season. They won district, and,